You just asked me if my phone is on quiet. Let me tell you something right now. My
It
phone's
better be on quiet.
Let me tell you something.
I haven't seen you in a while, buddy.
I know. Well, you know what? I'm still a little pumped up over that Super Bowl.
I got a little bit of a head cold.
You got a little head cold.
I thought it was allergies, and then
I hate that where you think, what's in the air? I'm just sneezing a lot, and then you wake up and you're like, this is definitely a cold.
I had horrible allergies in Denver, but no, this one's sticking around. I'll tell you what, nothing's funner than having a head cold like this and then sitting at the DMV this morning.
That's a good time. A head cold at the DMV is what I call a barrel o' laughs. It's a barrell o' laughs.
You know what, though?
They move quickly, don't they?
As much as I wanted to hate on them, and I thought it was going to be just like the movie Zootopia, where they're sloths at the DMV. I've never laughed so hard in a movie in a long time. Have you seen that part?
I love the movie.
Zootopia won all those awards, but at the DMV, they're sloths that moving.
Very funny.
And they tell a joke, and he's like, hardest I've laughed in a long time. I don't know why. Anyways, the guy taking my papers and doing, because I lost my license. My son lost my license. He plays with my wallet.
Yeah.
And I don't know. He probably had a restaurant, so he tossed it.
Discipline him.
Yeah. I took a warm, big brown hand to his little brown face.
Strike the child.
But so he lost it. Anyways, I lost my license, just getting a new one. The guy looked like a sloth. I tried taking a picture for my brother, but they told me to get rid of my camera. And it was actually really quick. I had an appointment. I was like, oh, here we go. It was actually really quick.
Wow.
I was there maybe 8 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted to hate on him.
Oh, that's great.
It was really nice.
That's efficiency.
I know.
You got to make an appointment, though. Don't wait in that line.
I know. I had an appointment. Thank God.
Did you, watch me ask a rhetorical question. Did you watch the Super Bowl?
Right. How about that Super Bowl?
But you were, because
you were in Austin.
I missed the first quarter.
So you flew back. You missed the first quarter. Oh, my God. So for you, I mean, you didn't see the first part.
Well, I got
half.
there. By the way,
two different games.
Yeah, I saw them score and get it up to, I think, 28-3.
Correct.
28-3 in at halftime. Now, there's no way you're coming back from 28-3. It's not going to happen.
It's never happened before.
It's not going to happen. It's never happened before. And the Super Bowl's never gone into overtime. What we don't have to go into the football minutia, but what I took from it as a casual fan of football, or somebody who doesn't know much, yes, a lot, was the excellence that is Tom Brady and Belichick, where actually, like, when I see someone like that, it reminds me of how lazy I probably am, and also, like, I actually find it to be a mystery, and maybe as an athlete you can shed some light on. It's a mystery to me how someone like that can be that cool under pressure. Is that something you're born with, where you don't overthink things? Like they said that Serena Williams, I think it's actually her sister Venus Williams, but it's also Serena, doesn't keep like she forgets what the score is because she's only playing a point after point.
Yeah,
but how do you do that without getting in your own head? That's a gift, right? That's a psychological
gift. That's what the great
ones,
and the great ones want all that pressure, and they want all the pressure. Like, you can't mound high enough for them. Like Jordan, Brady, Serena Williams,
they come alive.
The greatness, Conor McGregor's, like,
yes.
To me, and I know I'm going back to fighting, but just to bear with me here, when Conor, like, the magnitude of that Aldo fight, and he's just loving every moment, and he's in there joking around and staring at the camera, staring at the people, you're like, what the for sure focus. That's him. He breathes and lives for that moment. Same thing with Tom Brady. I heard an interview this morning driving in on the NFL Network on Sirius. I'm balls deep in radio talk these days. But they're interviewing Tom Brady, and it makes sense because nothing is there's not much luck or none of that. But they just asked him because he's been in the league. He got drafted in 2000, so he's been in the league 17 years.
My God,
been to 7 Super Bowls. Has won five
rings,
and 7 though. There's a chance. He could have been 7 for 7 if the ball bounced a different way. You look at the New York Giants game.
Yes,
we can talk. They
had to beat the Patriots.
Yes. Yeah. So, but they're asking him just like, man, 17 years, and is this surprising to you? And he's like, not really. Like, I set a standard, and they talked to his teammates and his family and his coaches, and they said the standard that he sets is so high, and he demands such a high caliber, and he was
of himself,
yeah. But also from his teammates, because he goes, for me, I'm so focused on the game, I'm so focused on everything, nothing really surprises me. Because he's studied it so much.
Yeah,
he goes, even if we're down 23, I never think, oh man, we're screwed. He goes, it's just not what I'm about. But he was saying how his family life is so good. Like, his wife is such a beast, takes care of the kids, knows what Tom has to do. He goes, I don't have to worry about this. So all I can do is focus on this. He goes, so I don't worry about anything else. All that other stuff is taken care of. All I worry about is the game and my job. And I expect the same out of my teammates, and they know that. So those guys out there, you're not going to see a lot of guys out in the nightclub because they know I'm going to be the first one in the gym. I'm the first one studying tape. I'm going to be the first one at practice, and they have to keep up with that. And that's 17 years. So then he goes on to just talk about how, and I was thinking about this, that, you know, at halftime they're down 28-3. And I think Tom Brady's great. I think he's the best player of all time. I really do. 100%. I think by far best quarterback.
Last
maybe
night
the best
he proved
player.
it. Last night he
proved it. Down 28-3.
Yeah.
And you got to remember in that locker room that all those guys, you know, most of them are college All-Americans, draft picks, studs in the NFL. Mm-hmm. There's some rookies, but even those rookies, a lot of those guys have been there before. That's what makes them professionals.
Yes.
Like 28-3 to you or me are like, oh, this thing's fucking over.
That's right.
I posted a meme back because I bet on the game. We'll talk about that after this. But I was like, oh, it's over. But those guys at that level, it's not over. They've been down 23 before.
It's
play
no
ball.
Different. They're just playing ball.
And Tom Brady had a great analogy this morning. He goes, you know, our coach Belichick said that you really don't find out what you're about until you get knocked down. It's the same as a heavyweight boxer, a UFC. He didn't say UFC, but I'm throwing UFC in there because it's fighting. It's the biggest fighting in the world now. The UFC, you don't find about a fighter and what they're made of till they get knocked down. Mm-hmm. You really don't. Mm-hmm. So whenever you see a fighter get knocked down and the way they respond, whether it's a loss, whether, you know, it's DC getting his fucking sat to the ground by Anthony Johnson, coming up.
Andre Ward with Kovalev.
All these guys.
Yeah.
You don't find out what your team about. You don't find out what you're about as a human until you face the horrible consequence, the pressure or the consequences of what you signed up for.
Yes.
So when you're down 28-3 and you look around that locker room, now if you don't have Tom Brady, Belichick, you know, all these guys who have been there before, everyone's panicking and it's going to get a lot worse. When you're dealing with pros, mm-hmm. and you got Edelman, you got Gronk.
You don't have Gronk, though. You don't have Gronk.
But he's in the locker room. He's the president.
Sure.
But then you have Tom Brady, who's the general, going, mm-hmm. It's all right. All right, the ball didn't bounce our way. We just got to execute better, and we're going to be just keep going.
Let's playing football.
Let's go. They're all pros.
Yeah.
No one in there thought they were going to lose.
But you know where I go when you talk this way is like I was thinking about great champions, and whether it's Conor McGregor, whether it is Muhammad Ali, whether it's Tom Brady, there is so much of how we're raised. I was raised this way. Most of us is to be humble, to be modest, to be a team player, and also not to brag, and also sometimes that kind of culture and there are good things that come with all that, of course.
You're saying showboating or boasting?
Well, I think when you're
told, about white culture
when you're told to be sort of quiet, or you're told to be humble, or you're told, and these are all good qualities.
That's because you're from a wrestling background. But
just listen to it for a second. Like what I'm saying is that it's very difficult to, in your brain, in your heart, believe that you are a true champion and deserve to be. And I think sometimes that the gift of those great players like Ali and McGregor is in their mind, in their heart, they actually believe they had their destiny is to be the greatest. Not second place. Second place doesn't exist in their minds ever. Like, so Conor McGregor, so much of like, and you know, with Rafael dos Anjos, like Conor got into his head, and from what I hear, he was like, you know,
you're talking about Jose Aldo,
and
Aldo?
Dos Anjos.
No, he never fought Dos Anjos.
No, I know that, but he got it into his head, and when Dos Anjos apparently he was fighting. Who did he lose to? Eddie Alvarez. He was obsessing over Conor McGregor, and they were like, "You got to focus on the fight here." And I think it's because Conor McGregor, when you are going to fight him, or when he starts to talk to you, you realize this guy actually truly believes in his heart that he is a champion. It was a little bit like when I watched Evander Holyfield, and he was about to fight Tyson the second time, and he was singing hymns.
Yeah.
I was like, that dude's got you can say whatever you want, but he believes he's got the Holy Ghost on his side. Now, I'm watching this guy sing now, and sometimes that'll backfire, but for the most part, I was watching human behavior. I'm pretty good at that, and I was like, that's going to be tough to beat. And
when they think they're that special, yeah, it's going to be tough to beat.
And so, yes, there's a lot of work ethic, but I almost feel like when you have to start with Jordan, you have to believe that you are the greatest gift and the number one of all time. And of course, then you're going to meet that challenge by working your ass off, because that's what a great champion does.
When the pros, you're talking about straight fucking professionals at the highest level, Tom Brady and the New England Patriots and Belichick and from the owner from Kraft down to the last man on that 53-man roster, they all believe if there's time left on the clock, they're going to win.
Yes. Because
it's just a matter of time.
They're playing with the same intensity.
They're just waiting for Atlanta to mess up.
Yeah.
Or they're waiting for the opportunity. And it's crazy, man. Because a lot of teams, would shut down. But I think...
Do you think Matt Ryan, that the pressure got to him? Do you think that's...
No,
fair?
I don't think it's Matt Ryan. You know who the pressure got to? And
the defense?
Nope. Kyle Shanahan, their offense coordinator. If you look at the drive, if they just ran the ball and ate 2 minutes off the clock, kick a field goal, you're talking about a completely different fucking setup. But I honestly think Kyle Shanahan, who's a young offense coordinator, who I think, and I'm sure our listeners let me know very clearly, I think he's going to go be the head coach at San Francisco for the 49ers, and Lynch is going to be his general manager, which I like that setup. But I think he has never been in that situation. Granted, his dad did. I'm sure he's on the sidelines. But it's a different animal when you're up 28-3, when they're starting to make a little bit of a comeback. They have momentum. And you're like, oh, God. And I think you overthink. And the great ones don't overthink.
Yeah.
To me, I was not a great fighter. I was not a great football player. And I'm comparing let's say, if you're going Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, Conor McGregor, I'm not great, right? I'm not great at all. We're not even the same planet. A big issue for me is I overanalyzed everything.
Yes.
All the time.
Can I tell you something? Can I tell you something? That's very common for an artist and very common for somebody who is a performer. And you kind of have to be. You have to be very emotional. You can't be simple-minded about that. You can't be, I'm telling you, as an actor, what makes you, in my opinion, have your sense of humor and your sensitivity, and the reason you're doing so well with comedy, like you have this, you're kind of like, and performing, is because you have to be like...
You can't be a Terminator.
You have to be complicated. You have to be, and what I mean by that is you got to be a little fucked up in your head. Yeah. You got to be like emotional. Yeah. You got to have mood swings. I really believe that. I've thought a lot about that.
You would know. But going back to those guys, I just think, what a great game. What a fucking game. Yes. Mine was clouded. I had a Super Bowl party at my house, and I say at my house, my girl's family came over. They're all Mexican. They could give two shits about the game. They just focus on my son, so I basically got to watch the game. But I just want to have some fun, and I was with our boys. I won't say their names because they probably don't want people to know they were betting. But I was with our boys at a birthday party, and they bet big money on the game. I went, man, I usually bet every year. I'm like, I haven't bet. I'm going to go big on the Super Bowl. That's how I went big on the Super Bowl. Was the Broncos, whatever. I lost $3 or $5 grand. I don't know. But I was like, yeah, it's going to be fun. So I called my brother. I'm like, who do you like? And my guys at the party were like, dude, our big time dude was like New England -3 all day. I'm like, yeah, it's the safe bet. That's for sure the safe bet. And I did pick them to win earlier. I'm like, Atlanta's that sleeper, man. Their offense, I like that. And so I went back on the line. My brother's like, I like Atlanta too. I'm like, I like Atlanta in the over. So we upload money, and I put $3 grand on the game. But when there's $3 grand on the game, it makes it so much more fun.
Yes.
So, but if I didn't have any money on the game, that second half would have been so much more fun. Because I was like, oh hell no.
Oh my god.
And so I posted a meme. I posted a meme at halftime when they're up 28-3 of Steve Jobs, or no, I'm sorry, Bill Gates laying on a computer looking all smart like this. And I put how I feel knowing I'm the only one that made a bet on Atlanta and the rest of my friends bet on the Patriots. And people were just talking shit to me.
That's so good.
And then when they started to come back, I was like, oh, man, I fucked up.
Delete!
I was talking shit to my friends, too. My brother goes, you motherfucker, you jinxed us. I'm like, I don't think I have anything to do with it. He's like, yeah, you fucked us.
Well, you know
because when it was 20-28, my brother goes, I'm telling you, here we go. I went, nah. And I sent him a picture of shoes I'm going to buy with the money. I went, nah, I'm about to hit purchase right now on these bad boys. He goes, don't. Wait,
your brother's smart. Don't. I don't know football, but I will say this: I was shocked because when it was 28-3, I said if I was the offensive coordinator, I would run the ball all day long.
Yes,
and I literally. And what are they doing? They got Ryan dropping back and throwing long passes. Well, remember, you're just creating mistakes.
Remember, he took the sack, which fucked them, took him out of field goal position. Yeah. Then you had the holding call.
Then you had the fumble.
But then you're running and you're getting fucked. I don't know what their average was. It has to be around 6-7 yards a run at least. Yeah. They were fucking murking them.
Tire the defense. Throw at the end maybe, but just
it was very strange, man. But what's crazy is the Patriots to win that game, and they didn't play. Edelman didn't show up. Edelman didn't show up. Their offensive line really didn't show up.
That's where Belichick comes in.
And that's where Tom Brady comes in.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, he threw over 400 yards.
Could he be
no one really showed up.
Could he be any more accurate? He literally throws the ball. It's such pinpoint. It's such surgical precision.
That's Tom Brady. But I think Julio Jones, they could have used him more. Granted, they were focusing on him, but they could have used him more. But that's why the run was so open. I don't know.
Here's a weird piece of trivia. So I play Coach Meller on the Goldbergs.
Yeah.
And the real Coach Meller and I correspond because there's a real Rick Meller at school. And he coached Matt Ryan.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he was heartbroken for him, but it was just funny. He goes, I felt so bad for Matt because he played for me. And
I won MVP.
Yeah,
right. And they got next year. I was
like, hey, man.
They're going to be the team to beat next year, too. They're fucking young. They're going to be good for a while.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Especially that running back. I'll tell you what's interesting to me is I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't dislike New England. I don't dislike Atlanta. I like every team. I like literally every team. There's no team I despise. I'm not a guy because I'm from Denver. I hate the Raiders. I actually love watching the Raiders. My two teams are the Broncos and the Cowboys.
Right.
Have been since I've been a fucking young kid. And then I like players. I grew up, my brother was a uber Deion Sanders fan. Uber. He used to paint his face black and wear gold chains. Sorry to throw you under the bus there. He did. And if he left the house, now that I think of it, thank God he didn't. It was super racist, even though he wasn't trying to do that at all. He went blackface.
Well, you guys went to all black schools. Right?
Yeah, predominantly black school, and that's what look. My brother wore the Deion shoes, and he had the Deion 49ers jersey, and we loved Deion Sanders. I loved him. My brother was in love with him. No homo. But so I loved players. What's weird to me is when I post something about Atlanta, how being like, well, I'm not, I'll be a Falcons fan, and I thought this meme was funny as a repost or something. I'm not an Atlanta fan, but I will be today just because I've never been a Patriots fan. I just thought it was funny. But you get people who are so upset. Look, I mean, who are, fuck you, Shab. I used to listen, unsubscribed, unfollow. I'm like, bro.
Because why? Because
I don't play for Atlanta. And unless you're fucking Robert Kraft.
Because you picked Atlanta.
Yeah.
Oh,
dude.
I love it.
And so one guy goes, I used to love you. I unfollowed, unsubscribed, and I never respond to these. My brother's like, you got to look at these Instagram comments. I get on there. And then one guy goes, dude, I used to tell a lot of people about you. Since you post this, I'm not following. I'm not listening anymore. I'm telling all my friends, grown man, father of two. God damn it.
Wow.
And I put, no, please don't go. And I just put laughing. Like, I don't give a fuck. If you're the type of dude,
if you take it that seriously.
And I hate to tell you, if you don't listen to anyone who doesn't love your hometown team,
wow. I told you.
The thing that bums me out is when they have kids. When they have kids, you're going to raise your kid to be that way.
I saw a 55-year-old man.
They're so fucked.
I saw a 50-year-old man in Arizona. He was a Seahawks fan. They were all wearing Seahawks. And he goes, "See!" And they were like, "Hawks! See! Hawks! See! Hawks! See! Hawks!" And he was screaming, "See!" And he was really aggressive. And then there was a call that went against, and there were Cardinals fans who didn't really care. They were just wearing the Cardinals jerseys. This is fucking Arizona. And he was like this. And he goes, "Come on, ref, what the fuck?" And the ref, they overturned it, and he looks at the Cardinals, the people who are adults. They're like, probably have kids.
Grown ass.
And he's 55. He goes, and he sticks his finger out. He goes, right there. And I was like, dude, you are way too into the Seahawks, man.
Dude.
You got to get a life, and you clearly have a regular job, and you're just, what the fuck is going on?
I get it. I get it. You want to be part of a tribe, and that's your tribe. And like everyone wants to be like part of a community.
It's called being a fanatic, which is where fan comes from.
I get that. And I'm all about fans. But there has to be a little bit of where it is a game. Don't get twisted. It is a game. No matter how much you love it, It's 100% a game. It's no different than playing tag. It's just not. They get paid a shitload of money to do it.
Yes.
And I get they're from New England. Hate to tell you, Tom Brady's not from Boston. He was not born in Boston. Gronk was not born in Boston. They were drafted there just by coincidence. They're not from your hometown. They're not your family. So it's very strange to me when people lash out and take it personal.
It's a form of nationalism. It's where war comes from.
I had a guy at the DMV. We're talking. He's talking about finding a kid. He goes, "Yeah, man, it was a tough one, honestly." He's an Atlanta fan. And I got these fucking Jordan. They look like Atlanta colors. I didn't mean to do it. I'm dressed like a fucking Atlanta Falcon today. I didn't mean to do it.
You really are.
I look like, and I got a
red and black.
I look like Deion Sanders with a gold chain. Anyways, so the guy goes, "We just got to get back on the saddle, and next year's our year." I'm like, and I can't stand when people do that. I go, you, what do you mean? What do you mean? We, you. And he goes, we had a hard game, and we just got. I mean, you keep saying we. You're going to
sprints right now.
You're going to training camp next. Yeah. I don't. Did you? They signed you as a free agent right after the Super.
What position you playing?
I'm confused because you live in L.A. and you keep saying we.
You playing safety support. You can be a back there. Get that. Block those passes. I'm safety support. You outside roving safety?
It's so weird.
You middle safety?
We had a tough game.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Yeah, you hear a lot of that.
Hey, bro.
It's fanatical. It's fanatical.
And I love fans. I love that they are that way. But what bums me out when people go, you would have zero friends if you only liked people who cheered for the same team.
Well, Steven Seagal did when they were talking about Anderson Silva. He said, "We got ready for this fight. We're ready. We've been training hard." I was like, "Have you?" Because you got a bit of a belly there, and you look like you ain't been missing any meals. So I don't think you made weight. I mean, he was literally going, "We're ready. We've been training hard." Hey,
dude, I get it all the time. Though, like off Abbott Kenny getting breakfast. Guy goes, "You play for the Buffs, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "You know what? We just got to." Are you on the coaching staff? I'm fucking confused right now. I'm trying to finish my avocado toast, and I'm not part of the team. So when you say we, I don't play for him.
Does it bother you when men go, "Got a surprise for you"? Go ahead, I'll play it. I'll play the guy. Ready?
Yeah.
Hey, Brennan, I got a surprise for you.
Oh yeah? What is it, man?
We're pregnant. We're pregnant, and it's so exciting.
I'm sorry, you're gonna your baby's gonna come out of your dick?
I'm gonna throw you in a flying headlock and beat the shit out of you here. Yeah.
We gotta give
Can't be my friend anymore.
We gotta give our boy Skyler a little bit of heat too. His girl got him flowers.
Is he coming on the show on Wednesday?
No, Michael Rappaport is.
Oh,
Skyler got bumped after that Instagram
Had to
post.
Had to bump you. He's listening right now.
And I love that kid. He knows this.
Did he get bumped for, he got
bumped for Rappaport.
You got bumped a week just for that.
Don't post pictures of your girl sending you flowers.
Skyler,
I'm so mad right now.
Skyler,
I feel like crying.
Skyler, we'll bully you up. We'll piece you up a little bit.
Skyler, if you're watching us on YouTube,
we love them.
Your girl shouldn't be sending flowers unless they're covered in fucking chocolate and can eat them.
Yeah, we love Skyler, but let me tell you something right now.
Oh, you know what? If your girl's gonna send you flowers, there better be a hole cut out in the middle where you can put your dick so she can suck it between the chocolate flowers.
Well, I agree with you 100%. And Skyler, I'll tell you something right now.
So right into the camera.
Yeah, I'm telling you something right now. Now, when you come here and you're going to be a guest, and we look forward to it, and we do love you.
We do love you.
But I'm going to put you between us. We're going to piece you up a little bit. Now, what I mean by piece you up a little bit is going to slap you around a little bit about the face, about the ears, maybe about the backside a little bit, maybe your back.
Maybe touch that rump hole.
He might grab. I might touch your little brown, if you know what I mean. And
oil check.
Brennan might oil check your little beaker. You know what I'm saying? Just give you a couple whacks. Well, when he grabs he's going to grab your balls and your dick, and he's going to go, honk, honk. It's called a honk test, okay?
That's what guys do.
You keep your fucking eyes on his eyes, because that's what you get, and I'm going to be holding your hips. That's what happens. It's called piecing you up a little bit. Honk, honk. And my thumb might dip it in butter right up the old shitter. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I look right down the barrel of that camera, and I go, fuck.
Yep. You'll feel my hot breath on your neck, on the back of your neck.
Skyler,
so you keep looking at Brendan's eyes.
You do not accept those flowers. You do not.
Well, hey, hold on. I got it better.
If my girl sent me flowers, I would. No. I think you fucked up the shipping address because I'm a grown man and you sent me flowers.
Hold on.
Then I would post a picture like this with the flowers. If she was like, "No, I thought you'd like them," I go, "Oh no, cool. Yeah, I'll take them." I would send a picture. I'd have you take a picture like this, And then I'd send a video of me just going, came through him like a fucking stegosaurus.
Okay, but hold on. Look, your girl sent you flowers. Maybe my girl sends me flowers. I go, that's cool. You guys send me flowers. That's sweet. Then I go, sweetie, you understand, I don't have a vagina, right? And that's fine. We gotta stop. Now, hold on. I say thank you. It's very thoughtful. But I don't post it.
I definitely don't post it.
I don't post it.
Now I want someone to love me the way Skylar loves his girl.
No, it's beautiful.
That's what I'm looking for.
I want Skylar to marry my sister or any of the women. My daughter, I would love my daughter to meet a guy like Skylar. Because that's a good man. Now, and he's going to love my daughter.
If my girl sent me those flowers, I'd say, I'm going to use the words of Brian's father here. Yeah. I'm confused. Now, I got a bunch of flowers. I open up the card. It's not a voucher for a nice steak and suck.
It's not.
So I'm confused.
Dude, you saw that? Did you see some of the pictures posted? I had guys coming to my show in Austin. They made T-shirts. One dude made a T-shirt that said Brian the Kid Count on the back. It said, I need a steak and a dick suck. Hey, boom. Whoever that is, please tag me.
Tag me in the Finding the Kid so we see it so we can blast that.
And while we're at it, before I forget, Matt from BC, from British Columbia, who wrote us those handwritten letters. I want to thank you for writing me that handler, but I read it and he read his, and that was really nice.
Yeah,
and thank you to all the fans.
We're going to give you a steak and a dick suck
next time we're in Vancouver. You deserve it. Yeah,
Brian's going to get those crooked teeth on your dick.
Hey, no, you can't just volunteer that.
I thought we were...
No.
Oh.
No.
Where were we?
Back to Skylar.
No, we love you. We'll see you.
I love you.
Not this week, next week.
You can't come hunting her to war, but you know what I'm saying.
No. If we're in a foxhole, we're going to fuck your mouth.
Yeah, that's all.
That got weird. Good stuff. Yeah, Super Bowl, lost some money on that. Felt like an ass. Thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what I'm going to tell you.
I'm going to play you something.
Dude, go on. How about, my kid's about to turn 1.
Sure.
My girl goes, hey, we got to take Tiger. We need to enroll him for preschool. I go, well, when I was a kid, it was just, the preschool's right there. You fucking go there. That's what you do. And then you go on to kindergarten. It's not a big deal. It's preschool. They fucking just like squeeze paint and get dirty. And it's basically wrangling cats. Mm-hmm. What the fuck are we talking about? And she goes, oh, no, the little owl school of preschool, there's a year waiting list. And you have to do a walkthrough. And then you got to fill out an application.
That's right.
And then you got to see if they accept your kid.
Welcome to my world.
When I got there, I went there on Saturday morning. When I got there, I strolled around, which is your normal fucking preschool, and there's stations, and I like a lot of their ideas. The Peace Corner is a little weird to me. The tofu snacks kind of rubbed me the wrong way. A little bit.
Yep.
Just talking to them, and I went, any question? I go, how do you guys decide who gets in, and what's the list look like? She goes, well, we typically allow 20 kids a year, and the wait list is at 98 right now. So I went...
So my kid's 99.
Very cool. So by the time I put this in, how do you guys?
He'll be in college.
How do you guys decide? And it's this lady dressed like she came straight off Venice Beach Boulevard and just. If she listens to this, my kid's for sure not getting in. Yeah. But listen, dress less like lukewarm. Make a decision. Yeah. Stand for something. Yeah. No. Posture like fucking Willow. And then I go, how do you decide? She goes, we look at the applications and we pick the best candidates. I went, that's cool. He's 2.
Yeah.
So who shits their pants less frequently? How are you deciding this? You do it by the coolest parents?
Obstacle course.
And then I went like this. I went, oh, you look like you'd use a new pair of Lululemon pants or some shit. So I'm just gonna drop this little link in there. It was a 5.
Can I tell you what I
gave her a 5. I went, here you go. And I went like this around her mouth. I went, I said, look at me. I'm sure no other parents tell you this, but if my kid doesn't get in, I'm going to fuck you up. Have a good day.
You threatened him.
I went, have a good day. And I grabbed her titty like this, went, honk!
Well, that'd be very Trumpian. It'd be very,
fuck you.
That'd be very Trumpian. He gave the honk test. Honk!
Fuck you. And I went,
honk.
Can I see some of that tofu you're talking about giving the kids for snacks? She goes, yeah, what for? I'd love to grab a handful of it and jam it down your fucking throat. Don't put tofu around my kid, huh?
Yeah.
Isn't it weird?
Yeah. Well, that's weird that you would threaten her with tofu, to gag her with tofu. It's also illegal.
No, I didn't want to gag her. No, I wanted to. I wanted to waterboard her with tofu.
Well, I know you wanted.
No, her and the other lady. I just want to take tofu and go.
You threatened her. You threatened her with violence. You said, I'm going to fuck you up. Then you grabbed her tit, and then you stuffed tofu down her throat. All of those things are jailable offenses, and I'm afraid I can't really do a podcast.
Hey, you know what?
Because you violence
That's assault,
women.
brother. That's assault, brother.
Yeah.
Hey, you know how it really went down?
No.
Any other questions? No, thank you. I'll put my application in.
That's right.
That's how it really went down.
That's right.
You know what I did? No, I didn't do shit.
How about me? My wife, I was just feeling macho one day. I was feeling macho. Had a little cash in my pocket. There was a place my wife wanted to live in, that very expensive part of Santa Monica I used to live in. Remember back in
where Frank lives? Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, he
and
moved.
There were 5 people looking at the place, and my wife was like, "Oh, we'll never get it." And I go, "Excuse me?" She goes, "There's just too many people. It's too much competition."
You Spartan kicked that bitch in the chest.
And I got macho. I go, "We'll get the place." And she goes, "You're turning me on. When you do that, it turns me on." I go, "Whatever. I'll be back." I go up to the person. I go, "Listen, this is all very cute. You tell me what I got to do. Name a price. I don't want to deal with this. This is my place." Well, I spent too much money that year. I ended up, my brother-in-law was like, "Excuse me, what are you doing here?" Yeah. So I was out a lot of money.
Oh, no.
I was out a lot of money. Thank God for the podcast, because I had some problems. Anyway,
so
the point
happened.
is, just be careful of your pride, because when you try to act like a big shot and you're not a big shot.
Wait, that's the house you got now?
That is no, different house. I wanted to play you. I got a kick out of. By the way, you know how you guys all made videos for me for my
birthday?
For my birthday,
yeah.
And you had a nice one. Why didn't my wife play the whole thing?
I don't know.
She edited it. It was really nice.
The fuck out of it. I compared you to Muhammad Ali for God's sake.
Can I play that?
The rest of your friends.
Can I play
suck.
that? Because I want to play what Jeremy Piven did, because you're going to get a kick out of it, because. This is
birthday's over, but yeah.
No, but I wanted to do this because I thought you'd get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
Because this was like, my wife asked people to describe me in 3 words, and it was very quick. But it's for like my parents. Everybody's going to be there, right? Yeah. So you do this. This is funny.
I was asked to describe Brian Callen in 3 words. That's like trying to describe what Muhammad Ali did for boxing in 3 words.
Very nice. I love that.
But I'll give it my best shot. Brian Callen, 3 words, I would say.
I call this off the cuff.
This is just off the top of my head, by the way.
Off the cuff.
A lot of
genius.
Thought. Genius.
Crazy.
Loyal. I like that.
He's the best friend I've ever had. Happy birthday, buddy. Happy 50th frickin' birthday. Don't die on me. We got 50 more to go.
Very good. Very funny. Everybody laughed. Well,
no, they didn't laugh because your wife edited it to where I just go, Brian Callen, loyal.
Yeah, well,
tell her I'm a Spartan kicker in the tit.
So she asked Jeremy to do something on his. We have to have a laugh.
I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean that.
Kicker in the tit.
Spartan kicker in the tit.
You're going to Spartan kicker in the tit. See,
in the tits.
And now people are going to have T-shirts. Spartan kicker in the tit.
Hashtag Spartan
Don't make a T-shirt of that.
Definitely do.
Don't come to my show with Spartan kicker in the tit.
Definitely do.
This fucking
kicker
guy.
right in the pussy. That's Trump. That's not me.
He said grab
that's
her
the
by the
president
pussy.
of the United States.
Grab her by the pussy. God damn it. All right.
Sorry, man.
All right. I apologize to all the women's group. I am too.
Me too.
So this is so my wife says
file your complaints at gofuckyourself.com.
Listen, my wife says to Jeremy, make something funny, make a funny video, nice thing, describe Brian in 3 words. Now, this is why she edited it down to what she did. It was just to 3 words, because this is what he did. He's polishing his Emmys, very funny, and this is what he says. Watch this.
Oh, hello. Brian Callen in 3 words. Charismatic, loyal, horny as a 3-peckered goat. Cool? Shut up. But you know what's going to be interesting is when fucking Amanda finds out that he's been fucking Brendan Schaub, since the day he met him, Big Brown, pounding his little fucking Big Brown. And the fact that, if it wasn't for Joe Rogan, he wouldn't have a podcast and he'd be homeless, and also no one actually likes him. That's the crazy part. Is he's delusional, classic narcissist. He's fucked. That's off, right?
That was brilliant.
It's brilliant.
Why would your wife edit all this?
It was so funny.
Those were the fucking money.
But my wife was like, I can't play that for your parents.
Yeah, they would love that.
He's pounding Brendan's Big Brown. That's Jeremy Piven.
That's fucking hilarious.
Oh, he's so funny, man. People don't know how funny that fucking dude is.
Oh, he's really funny, man. Speaking of funny or not funny, I was at the Comedy Store on Thursday night. Powerful Chin came. Did you come, AJ? I didn't see you. Oh, Powerful Chin came, though, too. Chin came with a hottie. Chin showed up with a hottie therapist.
Hottie.
Well done, sir.
Hottie Boombalati, therapist. I was chatting her ear off about therapy. She was like, you definitely need it. Anyways, but I was in the back, and, it's Kevin Nealon, Steve-O, and Steve-O, the best. We got him back on.
Great guy.
He was like, dude, Fire and the Kid fans are nuts. They blow me up.
I love Steve-O.
Me too. He's Steve-O.
One of the nicest people on the planet.
He's just a great guy.
Yes, he truly is.
Steve-O is back there, obviously Skylar Stone, and then Andy Dick.
Jay Moore was there too, right?
Jay Moore, who I haven't seen forever.
Great
Me
comic.
and Jay were talking.
Yep.
But Neil Brennan too. We're all back there, and you guys know
a hell of a lineup.
how highly I think of Neil Brennan. I think he's brilliant.
And you're in the middle of all that.
Have you seen his special?
No, but
he does 3 separate mics. I talked about it on the Big Brad. It's so unique. The first mic is like one-liners, just off the cuff one-liners, right? Second mic is emotional shit, serious stuff about how he has horrible depression and how he tries to cope with it. And the third one is stand-up. Wow. So he'll start off with the one-liners. The lights go black. Then lights turn on. He's in the middle mic. So it's like 5, 10, 5, 15, 20. It's brilliant. That's how fucking creative this guy is.
I got to see that.
But so Neil Brennan. So the order is supposed to go, I think, Kevin Nealon, Jay Moore, Neil Brennan, me, Tony Hinchcliffe, and then Hannibal Buress. How do you say it? Hannibal Buress was like the surprise guest.
Big time people.
Huge list. But you know how it goes. Skyler goes, hey man, Andy Dick just got here. You mind if he goes on before you? I went, yeah, I'm the rookie. I don't give a, you can put me wherever you want, man. Just let me go out there. I don't give a fuck.
Andy's a character.
Such a character.
Oh, the best.
And he goes, you're Brendan from Fire and the Kid, right? I went, that's me, man. He goes, your fucking friend Brian. I told him I want to come on the show. He never hits me up. I'm like, so we exchanged numbers. I'm like, dude, we'll get you on, man. It'd be fun to have him on.
Very funny.
So everyone clears the green room. It's just me and him. He goes, I'm so fucking nervous. I'm like, You're nervous? I didn't know. He's not really
he's not a stand-up.
I didn't know.
He doesn't do a lot of stand-up. Great performer. I've worked with him many times. As an actor, I've worked with him many times. He's amazing.
He goes, be ready to go on. Just be ready to go on. This is what I'm going to do. You ready? It's just me and him, by the way, in the back. He goes, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go out there. I'm just going to stare at the crowd. And then I'm going to announce you and you come on. I'm like, I feel like it's a bad idea. And he goes, you're right. You're right. He goes, you're right. You know what? And he has like his friend. He goes, do we have the flute? Do we have the flute? And he goes, give me the flute. He goes, I'm going to do one song. I'm going to be like 3 minutes. So just be in the back, ready to go. All right, man. He's so nervous. He goes in the back. Oh, and I won't talk. I'll have him talk about it on the show. I won't get personal. Then he goes out there. I'm in the back. I'm like, all right, let's see this. He's going to be out there maybe 2 minutes. He's out there for about 10 minutes singing a song. Grab someone off the stage, tied her up with the mic. Tied her with the mic.
He does his own thing.
He was entertaining. Yeah. Was it entertaining, Chin?
Yeah, it was actually entertaining.
People were laughing,
confusing.
but confusing. Yeah, because that's stand up.
Andy is a very unique individual.
And then gets done, ladies tied up, runs off stage, doesn't announce me. So he comes back and he goes, "Oh my God, I fucked up. I'm so embarrassed." And I go, "I don't give a fuck, man. I went out there. I made a joke about Andy Dick, and I don't care. You don't need to announce me. I can announce myself." And he goes, "No, it's that's not good in this world. That's not good. I go, I don't give a fuck, and I promise it's not a big deal." Skylar, I guess he goes up to Skylar Stone, who's running the thing. He goes, "I fucked up, man. I forgot to announce Brendan." Skylar goes, "Dude, Brendan is pissed. He's looking for you." And Andy's like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, I guess he said it was cool, and now he's just pissed, man." And he's like, "What the fuck?" He goes, "He's looking for blood." He's all stressed out. So Andy, if you're listening, I don't give a fuck,
That's
man.
so mean.
How funny is that?
Oh my
I guess he's like, "We need to get the fuck out of here."
That's
like took off the back door. He was like, "He is."
That's terrifying.
He goes, "He's looking for blood." And he goes, "What? Looking for blood?"
If there was really a UFC guy who was after me, like a heavyweight, I would be fucking terrified.
At the Comedy Store?
That'd be terrifying. Like he wants to kick your ass. Like it wouldn't matter who it was. Like I do it for me. It wouldn't make a difference if you or Danny Castillo.
No,
Danny Castillo wants to kick my ass. I'm like,
if someone was like, "Hey, Jay Moore wants to fight you," I'm like, "What the fuck did I do? Why?" And then next time I go to the Comedy Store, I'm like, head on a swivel. Like, where the fuck is Jay Moore?
Well, I remember one time, way back, there was a girl I'd had a thing with. I see her, and I'm just in a mood. And I see her. She comes up to me at this. There was a band playing, but before the band, people were just hanging, milling about. And I see her, and I'm all over her. I grab her by the waist, I kiss her. I'm like, oh, I'm petting her hair.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, she goes, this is awkward, but you have to stop this right now. And I go, why? And I'm like, why? I fucking like you. And she goes, because my boyfriend is looking at you and I think he's about to punch you in the face.
Was your boyfriend?
I go, you have a boyfriend? I turn and this he looks like a rough farm boy who comes from like Iowa, who's been throwing bales of hay. He wasn't fucking having it. He just looks at me and I could just see him. You know how like a lion in the tall grass is about to pounce? Like that dead serious
just waiting.
Look. Dude, I looked at him and I went, see you later. And I ran. Then I came back and then I had to leave the bar because
Did you bring him drinks?
He was fucking pacing back and forth. He was going to fight me. He was ready. And she was like, listen, he wants to fight you. I was like, I don't want to fight him. I don't even know him. I'm sorry. And I fucking ended up leaving. I just was like,
he should be mad at her.
Well,
it's not like you did.
I said, I didn't
you
know.
Understand.
I didn't know. Yeah, I did understand. I was disrespectful without realizing. But that guy, I could see him pacing and getting his arms loose. So I was like, Jesus.
Warming up.
I'm in a great mood. I'm a bonobo. He's a chimpanzee.
In the bar. Fucking
exactly.
Jumping
around.
You know this girl. I was dating, this is years ago. I was dating this girl, and we go watch Brian do stand-up. I think it was at the Laugh Factory, and I bring her there. And we were just starting to date, whatever, hook up, but we were just whatever. And this guy walks in who I won't say his name. You guys know who he is. I'm an Uber fan of. I'm like, holy shit, like that guy's not one of my heroes, but I grew up on his comedy. And she gets super close, like snuggles up to him, and he comes up, I'm like, Jesus Christ, what are you doing? She's like grabbing me, like, all right, man, like get the fuck off of me.
She's all over you.
All over me. I'm like, what's going on? And then when he walks by, like, I'm not gonna say her name, but she goes, how's it going? Insert his name. And he's like, what's up? And he looks at me and goes, what's up, man? And I'm like, I was like happy to meet him. I'm like, oh, what's up, dude? And she's all, have a good night.
She was fucking using you to make him jealous.
That was her ex-boyfriend. And she thought I was going to be like, yeah, get over here. But I was like, beat it, lady. What's up, man? Yeah.
So she was trying to make this celebrity jealous although that would make a lot of guys jealous that she's all snuggled up to the big.
Not this guy. He's like, what's up, man? Rich as shit. Anyways,
see ya.
On to the next one. And I was like, I hear you. High five. Are we best friends? And he's like, no, I fucking hate you.
Yeah, you want to be friends.
That's how it really went.
Yeah, that's what happens. I'm a fan. I want to be friends.
Yeah.
Well,
bitches be crazy, man.
Bitches be crazy.
Bitches
I'll tell you who else be crazy.
I went crazy
I'll tell you
yesterday.
who else.
I'll tell you who went crazy. I went crazy on food yesterday. Now, I did run 8 miles, then worked out hard today because of it. But I ate 3 pizzas.
I believe you did.
The small frozen ones, though. You know those little Totino ones?
Now you'll put down some pizza. But
I'm like a ninja
speaking of
turtle.
crazy,
I
can I tell you?
pizza.
Can I tell you who I think is crazy? Now you may have a different point of view, but the person that I think is crazy, Alex Jones, because I listened to that podcast with Joe Rogan.
Oh my God!
Now I'm sorry, but apparently
Joe about
Obama is a pedophile. And also has sex with lots of guys.
This is my
$65,000 on male hookers or something, or
well,
I didn't know this. I guess Wallace missed it, but he has all the information.
Rogan, yeah,
he's got his. But
he's like Joe.
The FBI.
He's all Joe, and this is. I mean, you can look it up. Just put the piece together, okay? We got the files. Obama ordered almonds. Why would you order almonds?
Walnuts.
And they're brown.
Walnuts.
They're brown. That's code word for he likes little brown boys, okay? And then explain this. He orders hot dogs?
$65,000.
Who orders 10 hot dogs? I can only eat 2. He orders 10. You don't think anything... And then he goes, make sure they're cooked extra. This is... All right, you can look it up. It's all there. It means little boys, hot tub, he sucks their dicks.
And I didn't want to know.
It's all there.
I don't want to know anything about this. For me, I just kept coming. Infowars.com. Like a commercial.
And then he is this. Joe, you know what? I'm not going to do it. Takes a hit. You want me? You want the truth? Hillary Clinton, okay, killed children.
Chops them up in little
pieces. Eats them. Now, that's all. I'm not saying anything that you guys can't find out there. That's all. Look it up. I'm not making this up. You're 100% making this up. No, I'm not. I'm not making any of this up.
He was drawing a comparison of her policies towards Syria, and therefore ISIS does this stuff. He is Alex Jones is a showman. That's what he is. He's a showman, and he, by the way, 7 years younger than me. I was shocked. I feel like he looks at least my age, but whatever. But yeah, he's just a showman. And I don't know what he's saying. I'm trying to follow it.
And then he'll go. Then he'll do this one. I had a talk with the head of NASA. This is last week.
Of course he did.
And how's he getting this access? I don't know.
He has access. I had
a talk head of NASA, right? And he told me things I don't want to know. What happened this week? Joe goes, what happened? He goes, he died. Okay? He died.
I love it.
Joe goes, he just randomly died. We have no idea. He said that there was 2 missions to the moon. One that they actually did. One, if they didn't make it, they were taking pictures. Okay?
Wow.
So those are the pictures we see. They're clearly on trampolines. Again, you can look this stuff up.
And by the way,
it's all real.
Here's my question. Since Alex Jones has 40 million by his estimates, 40 million downloads a month, and also the fact that he's exposing all this truth, I'm just wondering why he hasn't been killed. I guess, or is it that why didn't the shadow government silence him? Because he's been exposing all these secrets, but I guess they haven't because how long would he last in Putin's Russia talking this way? But somehow he's flourishing. He's got a mansion. He can say whatever he wants. He's got a huge business. He's making millions of dollars, but they haven't silenced him, huh? Where's the shadow government with Alex? Is he part of the shadow government?
He's the voice.
He might be part of the shadow government, and maybe he's spreading lies.
He's the voice of conspiracy theory. So if you're going to have a face for conspiracy...
but he's always talking about how people are dying, but how come he didn't die? He's the one exposing all these things. How come...
They let Eddie drink. They let Eddie... Even Alex Jones like, you're talking crazy.
I haven't heard...
You're talking crazy.
I've only heard an hour of it so far, and it's very hard on my ears, but it's I can't wait to get through the whole thing.
And yeah,
wow. You know what? He's got a good thing going. He's entertaining. He's making a lot of money as a showman.
But I saw a lot of people, in my brother and I were talking about, they're like, man, I'd love to have Callan on the podcast with Alex Jones, Eddie, and Rogan, so Alex Jones could just destroy Callan and his theories and his education.
My theory.
But this is the thing. Whenever I actually believe in some conspiracy theory. A lot of some of it is true.
I believe that there are pedophile rings. I believe there are pedophile
100% there are.
And I believe there are
Obama's not in them.
I believe there are pedophiles in the Democratic and the Republican Party. I believe that pedophiles. I think pedophiles are in all aspects of whether there are plenty of very wealthy pedophile circles, powerful, political. 100%. I don't have any doubt about that. Perverts are everywhere. Scumbags are everywhere. There's no doubt about that. I just get a kick out of the way he draws these. He draws these lines, and what's great about him is that he casts himself as the great beacon of truth, as the great beacon of the only source of news, and apparently everybody else from The Guardian to the Le Monde. I mean, all mainstream media, from the ones in France to England to everywhere, it's the United States, they're all corrupt, they're all liars. And he's the only beacon of truth. It's fascinating. And he really likes Trump.
But if him and Trump, now he's officially like part of the crew now.
Trump has found God, apparently. Trump has found God, and Trump is a guy to trust, and Trump is the guy who's calling all our news outlets fake news. All right. I don't know what to say about that.
The issue, and I don't have, if you believe it, I have no problem with believing some of that stuff, because I actually believe some of it. I really do.
I just want evidence, that's all. I'm responsive to evidence.
And they can provide some evidence for some of their theories. So 100%. Some of it's true what they're saying. Sure. A lot of it isn't. Not all of it's bullshit. Not all of it's conspiracies, but they make everything conspiracy. Mm-hmm. The issue is, if you have an educated guy who's like, well, no, this is the news outlet. This is why they reported this. These are the credible sources. They go, you're a shill. You're part of the system. You're a shill. So you're just going to throw away everything I stand for?
That's what they do.
You're a shill.
Yeah, you're a shill. They just dismiss everything you say. So anything, even if you wrote a report on, I guess, even Trump's speech. Is that true? Yeah.
Shill.
So much of it is just information that you're getting. So I just wonder about that. And the press is pretty... I mean, there are a lot of examples where the press is look, if Hillary Clinton and the Democrats were so powerful, wouldn't they still be in power? If they did all those things, maybe they did. They still are not in power. They couldn't figure
out a way to be in power?
The Clinton Foundation folded up because they were no longer a pay-per-play. That was corrupt. I mean, and they folded up. How is the Clinton Foundation doing? Are they raising money?
You want to talk about a conspiracy? How about I bet? I'm a fucking degenerate gambler. How about I bet on the coin flip, heads or tails? Because they gave me when I signed up, they gave me an extra $250. So I was like, fuck it, I'll do it on heads or tails. You're 50-50. It's not bad odds. Mm-hmm. I pick heads. Fucking George Bush Sr. gets up there. You see his goddamn flip. I understand he's 93. His flip was this.
The very old man.
Well, it wasn't a flip. I want a fucking redo. Talk about conspiracy.
Yeah. Well, maybe it was. Maybe George Bush was a conspiracy. There are people that think
Against
that Alex Jones is Bill Hicks. They believe it. It's great. Even Eddie was saying that conspiracy theorists are all fighting within each other. You're giving too much credit to that conspiracy. What about our conspiracy? And it just becomes this whole insane.
I think it gives people
thing.
something to do.
Well, it's also a lot of this. It's also like really kind of unfair to news organizations, for example, like the work the New York Times did in the civil rights era, exposing the power structure for their hypocrisy.
But you agree that CNN has a bias. They have agendas. Fox has an agenda.
All news organizations nowadays, because they're responsible to corporate interests and because they are of course biased. I happen to think that CNN, CNBC, MSNBC, NBC, whatever it is. There's so many. They are slanted so to the left. They're very liberal. Fox News seems to be very right.
They have an agenda.
I tend to be more center, and that which is exactly why I'll read the New York Times, and then I'll try to balance it out with the Wall Street Journal. I'll read the New York Times, and I'll balance it out with the Economist. So I like to read both sides of the political spectrum. But to say that like these organizations like the New York Times that's done such good work, for example, with discrimination. Look at the Pentagon Papers.
Yeah, you're
look at all the conspiracies they did expose. Look at Watergate. Was Bob Woodward a shill? I mean, he brought down the Nixon administration.
Hey, look at me.
With Bernstein. I mean, come on, guys. And I just think a lot of people either aren't students of history, but Alex Jones makes a lot of money and benefits a great deal from being
there's no
conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, there's no going back. Yeah. There's him being a conspiracy theorist and being the face of it is no different than a ghost hunter being like, if you catch a ghost hunter going, I don't believe in ghosts. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm like, hey,
it's a great
the number one show on TV.
Yeah.
He's going to be balls deep in ghosts, even if you don't believe that
It's a great gig. He's
no going back.
He's got Trump on his side. It's a great gig. And, and it's a good entertainment. He's a great showman. And, I'd love to get him on the podcast. It'd be fun to get Alex Jones on the podcast. I would love to do it. We got to get him on because I'd love to have a conversation with him.
I don't really entertain that stuff.
Well, I don't either.
I don't think you'd come on with you. I could be honest.
Why? I'm just asking questions. I mean, I'd start by saying I don't believe most of what you say. It's not an insult. It's just that because I would need more.
Think of many offers.
He
gets
Alex
it from
Jones,
like CNN.
But with
MSNBC.
Alex Jones, I need more. I need real evidence, not
if I'm
YouTube
Alex
videos.
Jones, I'm not coming on our show to convince Brian Callen that he's legit.
Well, no, but our listeners, not
yeah.
me.
See, I don't think he's doing it. I think he's going to go to someone else, like a huge outlet, if he's going to do that, where someone's going to compete with his ideas and theories. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm him, I'm not doing just any. I wouldn't do that.
I don't know.
What's he have to gain? What's he have to gain from that?
Yeah, what's funny about Alex Jones is
going on Rogan's safe.
Yeah,
you have Eddie there.
That's true.
Rogan's his boy.
Well, Rogan asked me to be on that. podcast.
You fucked up.
No, because I was on my way to Austin.
Yeah, you fucked up.
So he wanted me to come and be a balanced point of view on that.
You fucked up.
Which I didn't. I couldn't do.
It might be the biggest Rogan of all time.
I'm sure, but I don't care. And I would love to be. I would have been there, but it would have been very difficult because the problem.
You wouldn't have got to worry about it. They would have you're a shill.
Right.
Nope, you're brainwashed.
Well, that's what happens.
Everything. They just discredit.
Yeah. So anything I would do. So if I presented evidence, then the sources of my evidence would be considered like lies. That's how they argue. And then their evidence is not because Alex Jones would say, as he did many times, my sources in the CIA, in the FBI, in the intelligence community, and it always proves to be right. We started getting this 5 days before, and then it turns out to be right. And the thing about a guy like Alex Jones is that whenever you are a conspiracy theorist or you're a guy who's a firebrand the way he is, sometimes you're right.
And it validates everything.
That's right. So, you just got to be careful of anybody who's that loud and that sure.
I also think if you went on there, it would have been 3 against 1.
Yeah, sure. But I don't mind.
I don't think it would have. But you're also not.
I'm not going to change anybody's
But you're
mind.
also not a confrontational person.
Yeah.
I need someone who's the Alex Jones of the truth, who's going to just fucking kadoosh, kadoosh, get in his face, kadoosh, kadoosh, and he's tossing this up and they're tossing that up.
But
you wouldn't
that
do
still
that.
wouldn't work
you
with
would,
him.
And I know
it would be a shouting match.
I know, which I want.
Yeah.
With you want people to like you, and I think you and Alex would actually like each other, even though you think he's batshit crazy.
Well, I do.
As a person, I think you guys might like each other.
I don't think he's crazy.
So you would have heard him out and like, that's interesting, but I think, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe.
I need someone who's just, get, truth. Get, truth bomb.
No. Here's what I think about Alex. No, here's what I think about Alex. No. Here's what I think about Alex.
No,
I don't think he's crazy at all. I don't think he's crazy at all. I think Alex Jones is a showman, and I don't think he believes a lot of what he says. I think Alex Jones got a good gig by being this guy.
You won't say it to his
by
face.
being this guy.
He will punch you in your shill face.
I'm terrified.
He will punch you in your shill.
But listen to what I'm saying.
No.
Listen to what I'm saying. I think he's truly a showman who is essentially playing a character. Actually, a lot of from what I understand, he's kind of a libertarian. He believes in small government and all that stuff. That's probably, I'm aligned with that stuff. I think he's from Austin, Texas originally.
That's conspiracy.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I think he's a showman. He's playing a character. He makes a lot of money doing this, and I don't think he believes half of what he says. Exactly.
He went full conspiracy. There's no going back.
He's a blind Trump supporter. That's amazing to me. I mean, as a patriot and a conservative, a true conservative, I don't know.
You know who else is
doing.
uber Trump supporters? New England Patriots. Tom Brady and Belichick are like this with Trump. Pretty crazy. That might sway me over to Trump's camp then. So they're super close. Yeah. Brady's pretty vocal about it too.
Yeah.
And obviously Belichick is. But back to the Super Bowl. I thought I wanted, and this is obviously the guy who likes drama. I wanted, when Belichick got the fucking trophy, or Tom Brady, I wanted them to call out Roger Goodell.
Would you see him getting booed?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see him?
Booed like crazy. People hate him.
That was crazy.
You know how much he makes a year?
$44 million.
Correct.
They were booing him like,
people hate him.
I got uncomfortable. I was like, whoa, this is
he was all kept trying to power through it. Congratulations on a tremendous year. Boo. Nothing like it. People hate Roger Goodell.
But
is he the most hated man in sports? I think so.
Does he not do a great job though, running the NFL?
Has anyone ever done a bad job? It's the NFL. You and I could run that bitch.
Really?
Oh, for sure. The NFL?
Yeah.
I mean, his thing is, $44 million a year. You got some stuff going on. CT lied in front of.
Yeah, I don't know what it entails.
I don't either. But it's the NFL.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, it seems like
I don't think the
it's
guys.
A well-oiled machine, right?
It's the NFL. You can't fucking miss, especially now.
I don't know. He does a good job either way. I mean, it seems like, you also need.
I think sometimes we give people a little too much credit. I don't know. I'm not hating on people.
Yeah.
I'm not hating on Roger Goodell. I'm not hating on Dana White. But I think a lot of times, if you were in those positions, if you had someone else who had just a business mind, I don't think there'd be that much. I don't think it's that groundbreaking what they're doing. I don't think it's that intricate. I don't think it's crazy. It might be a lot of work, and I think if you had someone else with a work ethic, I think you're still going to be in the same position.
Yeah, I don't
think it's that crazy.
I know nothing about what it's like to run that company.
Let's do some current events, Chin.
Current events with Chin.
Chin, how crunk were you that your boy Korean Zombie won?
I was so crunk.
God damn, he looked good.
Yeah.
Ring rust, my ass.
He got hit, and he did.
He went Korean Zombie.
But he went zombie, yeah.
Did you see the fights?
I didn't see the fights.
Oh, man.
Korean Zombie looked fucking good.
Yeah.
Really?
Terrible card, man.
First round.
We'll get into it.
Uppercut.
Nasty uppercut.
On a
he hasn't fought in basically 4 years.
Yeah.
Because, in Korea, you have to do service in the military. Yes. No matter where you are in your career, you have to do it. So he took 4 years off.
4 years.
His last
fight. It was like 3 or 4, something around there.
4 years days last time he fought, basically. It's like 1,200 something days, 1,100 something days.
He looked great.
He looked fucking good. Yeah. But his last fight was against Jose Aldo, where he was doing well and then blew
his shoulder
out. Remember that? That was his last fight.
Oh, my God.
And Dennis Bermudez is a monster. Dude, he fucked him up. Dennis landed a good shot, couldn't take him down, forced a trade to him, and then this uppercut was nasty.
It seemed like it was so well timed, too. But when he said in the post interview, it's just instincts. But you look at him, it seems like he was timing it, and then boom.
He looked great,
man. It was amazing.
I think you picked him to win, right?
No. Well, I said he would last up. Remember, I thought it was
that's
3
right.
rounds.
I thought he was going to lose in a decision.
Yeah.
Isn't that the hardest punch to land? Uppercut, usually? Very difficult?
I don't think so.
No?
No. Interesting.
Yeah. He looks
what else you got, Chin?
Did he look a lot bigger to you than Bermudez for some reason?
Bermudez is really small 45.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Short, stocky. He's in a tough position because he won 7 in a row and he's
Sucks. First current event is obviously the Super Bowl and their comeback from the third quarter. They were down 25 points in the third quarter. I actually took a nap around that time.
You fucked up.
And when I woke up, then they won already. I'm like, how the hell did this?
What I think is interesting about our culture is that Rob Lowe has 2 books and Belichick has never written a book.
What?
Huh?
In other words, like I would love to get inside Belichick's mind and have him. I don't know if it's in a book or whatever, if he would be expressive enough, but to team up with somebody who could mine his brain and how his brain works and how he keeps that level of excellence for that long. I would read a book that he put out for sure. And I just think there are a lot of people that do write books that I'm probably not as interested in.
That's interesting. I think he does have a book.
Does he?
Or he might. Belichick, I'm not sure.
I have no idea.
Let's not get too crazy here, though. Belichick was a losing coach with Cleveland. He was a losing coach before Bledsoe got hurt and Tom Brady came in.
But
it's a system, but he also has Tom Brady.
Well, you can't give Tom Brady that much. You give him a lot of credit, but Belichick obviously is doing something consistently amazing and would be considered by many, I would imagine, to be the greatest football coach in NFL history, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't happen without Tom Brady. I think they're married to each other.
I would suggest, and here's why I don't know that I agree, and as great as Tom Brady is, greatest quarterback of all time, we've agreed with that, is that
you have the greatest quarterback of all time on your team.
He seems to, gets rid of Randy Moss, gets rid of Gronk. There's no
Didn't
player.
Get rid of Gronk.
No,
Randy Moss
that's
was
what
older.
I mean. That's what I mean. But he is able to work with just whatever you give him, right? Injuries, it doesn't matter. The guy wins. And so for me, I think to myself, if you took Matt Ryan, now hold on. Let me. If you put Matt Ryan, if you put
Matt Ryan, the MVP of the
Peyton
league.
Manning, if you put Eli Manning in there, with his offensive mind, with his
you
brain,
just listed off some monsters.
Well, no, I'm saying that I think Belichick may still be at least in 7 Super Bowls. Not winning, but at least in them. Now, Tom Brady, greatest quarterback because he's so cold as ice and so accurate, 100% has to play a factor into that. Do you know what I'm saying, though?
I do, but let's look up Belichick's record without Tom Brady.
But wait, hold on.
Terrible.
Hold on, but maybe that's what it takes to get to a point where you've mastered
the best
coaching.
Quarterback of all time?
No, his ability to understand and learn the game took a lot of losing first, as anybody who reaches.
He was a coach for how many years before Tom Brady came
Maybe
on?
that's how long it takes for
20?
football. Okay, so it took 20 years. That makes sense to me 100% until he mastered the game. And yes, I mean, Tom Brady and him are the perfect symbiotic
The greatest
match.
quarterback of all time is on your team.
Would he have the same record with Peyton Manning? Would he have the same record with Matt Ryan?
No.
Would he be in 7 Super Bowls with those guys? I would say he's in 5 Super Bowls without those guys. 5?
I don't know, man. I know that he has the greatest quarterback of all time on his team.
What I'm saying is that Tom Brady is a huge part of that, but it's
the biggest part of that.
No,
because let's just go off facts right now. How was he without Tom Brady? You want to look that up, Chin?
Yeah.
Now, I think it's a symbiotic relationship. I don't think one's great without the other. I think they need each other. I think they're the perfect type
100%.
of relationship.
It's chemistry, man. Chemistry, it made gold. It's gold.
But there has to be something said of having the greatest quarterback of all time to take care of business.
I just think Belichick blows my mind because he's able to do it time and again with.
So remember, Brady got drafted in 2000.
Yeah.
So Brady comes in end of the year. They're 5-11. Before that, 5-11. Cleveland Browns.
Although it is
5,
Cleveland.
7-9, 7-9, 6-10.
It is Cleveland, though.
Just saying.
Yeah. How's Cleveland doing now? They've never really been good.
Yeah, but you can't say how's they doing.
You can
now.
also say
stupid.
that's also ownership. You know, I mean that.
Well,
plays
how many fucking freebies are you going to give them?
Well, I think that the reason I'm saying that Belichick is a bigger part of that equation than is Tom Brady is because he is the general who oversees everything, has to deal with everything, and is able to work with deficits like nobody I've ever seen in terms of.
He doesn't call the plays, right?
He doesn't call the plays, but he's the general. He's essentially the general play caller. In other words, he puts together all of it, right? Plan. Yeah. I don't know.
Offense coordinator does.
But it's all got to go through the man, right? Like, you know what I mean?
They don't check. I mean, they have a game plan, yeah. But he's not calling the plays. I
don't know, man. It's a really interesting thing. Like, what is it that makes a great coach?
I think they need each other.
A strategic mind, right? And also just an ability to create a culture of excellence. Because I asked one of Urban Meyer's players, actually his assistant coach, why Urban Meyer's so great, and he said, in my opinion, Urban Meyer is able to create an atmosphere where his players would walk through a wall for him, like they just love him so much and want to perform for him. And that's a huge part of it. When you have a great leader who you want to please, I would imagine the way he motivates them. A lot of NFL teams
have that, though.
Well, then comes in strategy. Right,
and how he works,
and maybe how he works with deficits, how he works with like Gronk being hurt and having to restructure it on the fly. That's another thing, is being able to kind of improvise when things don't go as planned. That's another issue. He's got to call those shots, right? So I would imagine he's got this incredibly strategic mind.
No, he's obviously one of the greatest coaches of all time,
or the greatest.
But there is none. He's not the greatest without Tom Brady. That's not happening. Put in Alex Smith. Put in Jake Plummer, put in any other quarterback, he's not the greatest of all time. I think you're discrediting what Tom Brady's done if you think that.
I don't know the game enough. I really just don't.
I don't either.
I don't know how I don't. And I do.
Now to help your argument, you can say, well, Tom Brady missed the first 4 games, then they went 3-1.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think he wins regardless. I think he's just.
You think they win the Super Bowl if they have Garoppolo at quarterback?
No. If they have, no. But if they have other really great quarterbacks, whether it's Matt Ryan or my God, all right, how about Aaron
Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers. If he's got Aaron Rodgers or he's got Peyton Manning, I'm telling you right now, Joe Montana. There are a lot of guys you
Tom
can
Brady's
put in
better
place.
than all those guys.
Maybe, but he's still in 7 Super Bowls. That's what I'm saying.
He's not winning them.
I don't know.
I'm telling you, they're not. Look at Aaron Rodgers and Peyton Manning.
You just can't say that. Aaron Rodgers is as good as anybody, right? I mean,
in playoffs,
tight second place, maybe. I don't know. Well, how good is he?
Well, no. Let's just count how many Super Bowl rings he has.
Well,
let's cut how many MVPs he has.
I hate that argument because it's such a team sport, so it's really difficult to separate.
You're the one that asked for the argument.
I'm saying that Belichick is the greatest coach of all time.
No, you just said,
and I think he's Rodgers. A bigger equation. He plays a bigger role in winning 7 Super Bowls than
Tom
does
Brady.
Tom. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I don't
100%.
think so.
Because the one quarterback can't with 11 other guys.
Then what happened to him before Tom? What happened? Drew Bledsoe's an amazing quarterback. Just so you know, Drew Bledsoe, first round draft pick, all pro.
I know. Yeah, amazing.
Didn't win. Well, no. Before that, before he got hurt, they didn't. I
wouldn't put Drew Bledsoe in the same category as other great quarterbacks, though, like Aaron Rodgers, like Peyton Manning, like Joe Montana.
So he has to have one of the greatest of all time to win.
Yes. So because you're saying it's Tom Brady only, and I'm saying and John Elway.
You're saying as long as he has one of the greatest of all time,
if you put John Elway in there,
well, fuck.
That's what I'm saying.
Anyone could do it.
No, that's what I'm saying.
If you give me Joe Montana, Tom Brady, or Aaron Rodgers, I mean, fuck it.
What I'm saying,
we're all going Sizzler.
That's what I'm saying.
That doesn't mean shit.
What I'm saying is that you could put another great quarterback in there, and Belichick is still in 7 Super Bowls. You said no, it's Tom Brady only, and I'm saying it's not just Tom Brady. I think Belichick deserves the lion's share of credit for those 7 Super Bowls.
I don't think so, because Belichick he didn't have much to do as far as them coming back from 28-3. Tom Brady's decisions to throwing to 10 different receivers, to have the mental power to make the comeback, to get up every morning, to be the leader, to be a 6th-round draft pick and become the best player of all time.
I mean,
that didn't have anything to do with his coaching.
I will. Yeah, I mean, you make a point. I don't know. Like, maybe there's the reason we're talking about Brady being the greatest quarterback of all time is that there's probably nobody else who brings them back from that deficit. right?
Aaron, those
Right?
guys, those guys didn't have that huge chip on their shoulder where they were the 6th round draft pick. None of those guys ever their first day at camp went up to Belichick with, you just made the greatest choice of your life as the 6th round draft pick. Who ran a 5.3? Who ran a 5?
That goes back.
Who
to
ran a
that
5.3 in the 40
and still has that kind of belief. Yeah, man. I mean, look, is there any other quarterback that would
I don't think one without the other. I think they both need each other, and they're both
perfect.
And they're both great. They're both great, but it's
and maybe
not a
they make each other
thing.
Great. Maybe they just are. They
might be the perfect kind of Dwayne Ludwig, TJ Dillashaw thing where they only work together.
That's true.
Yeah, they only work with each other.
That's right.
Anyone else, it's not going to work out.
Yeah, so you can't really separate the two. I don't know about Tom Brady. You're right. I don't think there's anybody out there alone who does that, who makes up how many points in the second, really in the last quarter?
25.
What the 19 points in the third quarter, I think. Fucking crazy. Cold as ice. Cold as ice. How'd you do it? We just compete. We just compete.
But I don't think you can say he's a good coach because if you give him Joe Montana, Aaron Rodgers, he's still winning games. No shit. You could.
Yeah.
Those guys are fucking brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, that was football at its greatest. Hey, John Lovett's up there on the screen. Mm-hmm. He'll do the podcast. Get him on here.
Next event.
He was in a commercial with McGregor recently, too.
It was a great commercial.
He's so funny.
Next one is your boy, Jake Shields. He was involved in a scuffle protecting someone from being beat up by protesters at UC Berkeley.
I love it. How great is that? Jake Shields comes to your rescue.
What exactly happened?
This is a little confusing. So, Milo Yiannopoulos, he's a very controversial speaker.
When we were was it Portland or Vancouver, he was doing a demonstration. It might have been
somebody got stabbed.
It might have been Seattle.
Someone
got shot.
Yeah, the people that hate him are passionate. The people that like him are passionate. So he was supposed to speak at UC Berkeley, and a bunch of protesters came out, and they started causing a ruckus. They masked themselves, and they had sticks and all sorts of stuff. And I guess we were talking earlier that they might have been, there were some people that were sort of Trump supporters and some people that were not. But they weren't even arguing, but they were looking at, okay, this guy's in a mask, this guy's not, we're going to start attacking each other. Kind of like, one side against another side.
Yeah, they're probably not the most thoughtful people. When you put on a mask and you got a stick, you're not very confident in your ideas.
That's what Jake was saying too. He was like, "You guys are wearing masks. What kind of?"
Jake is the.
So some guy was getting jumped or beat up?
Yeah, by like 12 or something people, and then he said the police were there. They were just watching. There were other people, bystanders, just doing nothing. So he went in just to protect this guy. He didn't know who the hell this guy was. He just saw a bunch of people.
Nor does he care what he stands for. Yeah, he's just getting beat up.
Exactly.
Wow.
So the 12 people stopped, or Jake had a scuffle on his hands?
He beat up all of them.
He said that he started fighting him, and then he got a few punches in. They got a lot of punches in, obviously, because there's a ton. And then he started slowly backing off and put that innocent or whatever, that bystander, inside of a store. And as long as he was free, he was kind of like he's ready to leave everything alone. And then there was a video of him kind of standing by these guys.
Let's watch it. He might have saved some lives. Jake.
The police and hundreds of civilians stood
Jake's
and watched.
Man.
Let me get this set up real quick.
You say Jake's a man.
Look at you guys. That's right, Jim. Free speech, man. You guys look at the dictionary. How much you hate. I'll get to make sure you're okay, and I didn't touch that.
So he's just arguing with them right now.
I'll get my ass to live. I have to, man. It's not okay.
There was a fucking Nazi thing at the fucking university. That's why everybody's here.
But why do you have to wear a mask?
What Nazi thing? Who's a Nazi? The Jew guy that was speaking? The gay Jew?
He's Greek. And it's the people not here, it's the people that come to see him.
You're saying the people that come to see Milo's Nazis?
Look at them wearing masks, and they're geared up with sticks.
Yeah.
Well, he knows 50 people. No.
Look at how they're talking to Jake, though. They know what Jake will do to you, even with a stick. I mean, come on, man. You got a stick in your hand, you got a mask on. That's violent.
And they said they were protesting anti-fascists, and I don't know enough about fascists. I try to read about it, and I still don't really.
Look, man, I always say the progressive, the radical left, they're really nice people as long as you agree with them. The minute you disagree with the radical left, they are as tyrannical as any Nazi on the planet, and that's a fact.
Milo's banned from Twitter? Yeah, that's why he's going around doing all this shit.
Was he the first one ever? I think that was
ever. I think.
Let the man speak.
Well, you remember wasn't he? He's being mean to the black girl from Ghostbusters.
SNL.
He said she looked like he was saying some racist shit, right?
I think he was.
Said she looked like a gorilla.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
and
he's
Leslie Jones is a
too.
friend of mine, and I love Leslie Jones, and it's disgusting that he would say that. But we also live in a country. Where let him speak his mind, and then let him be responsible to that. Don't take a stick to him. You may want to, but that's not how you beat ideas. That's not that. What you do is you create bigger divides. I talk this way now because I'm 50. Maybe I've been around a long time. When I was younger, I would have said, take a bat to that fucking guy's head. But now I don't. Well, I understand the emotion behind it. But right now, as I get older, you're behaving the same way your enemy does. You just have a different target. And you have to understand that.
It's not helping.
Yeah, and you're also thinking the same way a terrorist thinks. You just have a different target. That is not how to win the day, and it's not what makes this country great. It's just not. When the founding fathers created and solved the political problem, they weren't killing each other. They were beating each other with better ideas. And there was civility in the room where they were respecting each other's ideas and trying to solve a common problem, which was liberty and justice for all. That's very important because everybody listening benefits from that every fucking day. And those things had to be won mentally, man. There is a time to fight. We all basically define ourselves along the lines of which we're willing to defend and fight. But that's not it, man. It's just not how you do things.
Good luck messing with Jake Shields.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Granted, if there's 12 masked men,
if there's too many people,
that's the problem with violence. The problem with violence is it silences everything and destroys everything. So what happens is if you have a society that gives time for that, then what happens is the side with the bigger guns, the bigger muscles, always wins, and that's called Russia. And when was the last time you bought anything that came out of Russia or watched a Russian movie or listened to Russian music? You think maybe it has some correlation? Huh? I'm 50. I've been around a long time.
What else you got, Chin?
Do you guys want to get into that Trump thing again?
I don't care.
The one where,
What do you got?
So the whole travel ban was suspended. The one that he put in order was halted by a judge recently.
How's that work? So a Supreme Court?
It was challenged in a Seattle court. A federal judge challenged it. And now the executive order came out and on immigration. Typically, if this goes to the Supreme Court, if it's challenged in a lower court and then it's settled by the Supreme Court, whether or not, typically the president usually wins. The president's discretion on sort of making a national security choice, it usually wins from what I have read and understand.
So now they can come into the country?
But you have the right to... Yeah,
right now.
Yeah, appellate courts, federal courts and things have the right to challenge these things and I guess stay them temporarily. And because
so just temporarily they can get in.
Yeah, because we are a country of law. We are a system of law. We are governed by law, rule of law, not rule of man, not rule by man. Very important distinction. Monarchies are ruled by man, okay? And Donald Trump has an authoritarian streak and believes he should be king.
Trump said, you guys think you're safe.
Putin is the law in Russia, right? Donald Trump would love to be the law. But the reason we have checks and balances and we have a court system is they have to mean something.
What's this?
That's all.
Chen?
Well, so that happened, and then the Department of Justice, which is Trump's team, right?
Yeah.
They went and tried to appeal it immediately when that Seattle judge halted it.
So how long can they get in? Like how long is the ban?
Well. Now it is being looked at by other courts. But forget all that. What I think is more important than getting into this is that our president is in a Twitter feud with a movie guy, Arnold Schwarzenegger. He goes, you were a terrible governor, and you're terrible. Like, hey, dude, focus on the job, man.
That's what you get.
That's
what people wanted, though.
That's what you get. You get a small,
this is the only plus I can say about him is he was doing that before he got elected.
Right?
He's
Don't
doing
be surprised.
it now. I don't know why everyone's.
He's a petty.
I don't know why everyone cares
because he's a petty man who basically, who has to attack. If you say anything about him, he's got to attack you personally. He called the judge who was confirmed by George W. Bush, a Republican president who's been, in office for a long time. He called him a so-called judge. He even called him the question. He attacked him personally.
The only thing I liked about it is we know what we're getting. Like, it's not, so like shifty and like mysterious.
He's very shifty and mysterious.
He said, I don't think so.
Oh, well,
he said he was going to do this.
Tax returns?
He said he's going to do this, and he's doing it.
He's totally dishonest. Release your tax returns. What are your interests overseas? What are your interests? Because the Constitution says the president can't have those kind of interests. I'll give you the article. He's not allowed to do that. But why hasn't he released his tax returns? I want to know what the fuck is going on.
You're a shill.
Hey, Alex Jones, called Trump on the fact that he hasn't released his tax returns. Does he have interest in Russia or not?
You're living in the past.
I want to know. I want to know what kind of interest the Trump organization has and whether it's a conflict of interest. Is that, as an American, I'm not allowed to know that? He won't release his tax returns. Every president, I believe, in the history of this country has, but he won't. And he said he would. But he's being audited, so he can't now. But now he's decided he's not going to. What's he really hiding? Where are the conspiracy theorists now?
Well, he said he cheated on his taxes. He admitted that.
Well, I just want to know why. Hey, Alex, can you call Trump out on that? Where is there not a conspiracy there? That sounds like a conspiracy to me. Why do these guys get to choose their conspiracies, man? I'm a conspiracy theorist.
What else you got,
God
Chan?
damn it.
This one is local. So there's a cheesecake factory,
Motherfucker.
and there was an
Agent A, you work at a cheesecake factory.
This is fucking
That's why
Trump
this caught
all
my
day.
attention. So yeah, there was like a little explosive device that blew up inside a cheesecake factory in Pasadena.
Motherfucker.
A specific one in Pasadena. No one got hurt though, but the guy, had a beard, wearing all black, dressed that way.
Left a backpack?
I don't know about a backpack, but yeah. So that happened there, like
the
on a
CIA.
Thursday, and then the next 2 days later, a car crashed into that exact same cheesecake factory. Of course,
I smell something.
Unrelated, but it was just amazing. This particular.
Did anyone get
cheesecake
injured
factory.
in the bomb?
No one got injured in the bomb, and apparently no one got seriously injured here
It's
either.
been a little bullshit
Alex,
bomb.
what do
no
you
one got
make of
injured
that?
at all here.
Dude, I'm over the Alex talk, all right? The whole conspiracy stuff, let's move on. I'm done with him. Did you hear about this, Agent A?
Yeah, I heard about it.
Must be all the whole talk and cheesecake.
Yeah, is this all the gossip
rage.
right now on cheesecake?
Yeah, kind of. So the old cheesecake that I transferred from, they have their own Facebook page, and they were talking about it, and they were saying that after everything happened, they were trying to have the employees stay and still work. But even though
After the bomb went off?
yeah, I think one of the managers was trying to have one of the employees stay and serve, but the police and everyone was just like, no, like everyone's leaving.
God, cheesecake is ruthless.
Yeah, a lot of the servers were shooken up, and they still try to have them serve. Like you can't serve after
You working for a
something
corporate chain, ladies and gentlemen.
Jesus
we got our
Christ.
bottom line. Just stay to work. A little car driving.
Let's spit
through
out
the
that
window.
fettuccine a little faster, huh?
Ain't no excuses.
Just give him a cheesecake to share. Big deal. Bomb.
Bombs and cars
Bomb
driving into
schmarm.
the store is not a reason we stop service.
Did they give you guys like a heads up? Like, hey, you see anything suspicious? Tell
I don't know.
people?
That's not the one that I work at, but it was just they were just talking about it.
I think all of them would be on high alert.
Yeah. I
You
found out
attack
about
cheesecake.
it.
That's so goddamn anti-American.
I was gonna say,
Cheesecake Factory.
damn it.
Hey, why the fuck are the portions so big at cheesecake?
I have no idea. And then they expect
pretty
everyone to
good.
order.
Why is the menu so goddamn long?
pretty
There's
good
over
food,
300 items. I don't for what, and the same like 50, 70 items get ordered.
The same. You guys know
It's
what
the
people
same
order.
thing.
You got your go-tos.
Why have so many?
I have no idea.
But my
and
thing
they
is,
change it every 6 months.
this is what bothers me, being we're a couple foodies, is when I order food from a place, if it's a mass amount, I'm like, it's not high quality.
Yeah.
High quality shit's not going to just give you this huge fucking 6 pounds of lasagna.
You're right. I've had pretty good meals though.
No, they're not bad
Not
meals.
bad, right?
I don't know if the quality of it, though.
It's overhyped. Because I've
know you're
been
gonna get
there
fired,
for
right?
so
Hey,
long.
don't. You work there, right?
You know you can get fired, right?
Keep it down. You'll get in trouble.
Oh,
I
no.
won't.
Oh, no.
The
I
end
think
of the
you should be
world.
all right, yeah. Heaven forbid.
Heaven forbid for speaking your mind.
Is that it, Chin? Are you worried at all, Agent A?
Not at all.
Brian,
Apparently,
have
it
you
wasn't
seen
that
this?
big of a
Oh, hold
blow.
on,
It was
there's another
a
one.
joke. But that's not
What
a
do you
funny
got,
thing.
Chin?
Sorry. So Brian, have you seen this? A player was booted after he hit a tennis ball in the face of an umpire's face, his actual eye.
Oh, did he hit the ball?
I don't
Did
know.
he throw
I don't
the
know
ball
much
at him?
about tennis. No. So I'll let you watch this video real
Oh,
quick.
this is awesome. Look at that. Look at how hard they.
And there's no audio here, just in case people. So he was angry and he hits the ball.
Oh, like he went like that.
Yeah, he actually took the ball out and hit it, and then it landed right on the umpire's eye.
Oh, that's such a shame. Oh,
He's
my
not
goodness.
dead.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, dude, suck it up.
this
Did he
is
kick him out for that?
There was, yeah. So he got.
Nah,
booted for
you know
that.
what? I'm not kicking you out for that. That was a mistake. You were mad.
Is it a mistake, though?
Well, he hit it kind of like just.
No, he like tossed it.
Well, he didn't aim it at him though. Like it just hit him. That's what happens when you do that though. You're going to hit somebody sometimes, but you don't. Come on, man, relax.
I just want you to see his face, but I don't know if there's any images of it.
Fine $7,000. Got blasted in the fucking eye. That would hurt. That would hurt.
Oh yeah.
Well, there was a picture. He had like this really swollen black eye that just formed immediately after he got hit.
Yeah, it's a rough one.
Did you see the guy on the bike race punch the other dude? He got disqualified. Fucked the dude up too. Oh, really? His eye was bleeding bad. I guess they're like arch enemies, and then they're like at some stern point. Now they're shifting for position. He's just like, fuck this. Boom.
Damn.
Disqualified.
Yeah,
nope, didn't see that one.
No punching in biking.
Apparently, you can't hit the refs in the fucking eye with a tennis ball.
Sharapov. Wait, let me see the picture.
I can't see it. Which one? Where you're looking?
Go scroll up. Oh, never mind. I thought I saw it.
Yeah, I saw a picture earlier, but it's gone.
$7,000 fine. Not terrible.
No.
That's the NFL. You're super fucked. Oh, he looks scared.
Yeah, poor guy. But then they kicked him out.
That's it right there?
Yeah.
He didn't mean to.
Oh, no, he didn't mean to.
That's what you know when you cover your mouth. You're like, oops.
Yeah. He's like, oh.
Sorry.
He goes, oh.
That's embarrassing. It's so embarrassing, actually. You'll learn your lesson.
But definitely look for the picture later. It's pretty funny.
Now, did they have him being booted, though?
He just gets
That's what it looks like it right there. That looks like where he gets booted.
Oh, let's see if
this is the moment. This player.
It's such a long video too, though. So you see it in slow motion. He's getting hit in the eye. Damn. The guy covers his face.
That's embarrassing.
For who?
For the player and just.
That's not that big of a
although
deal.
This guy's holding on to his
tennis.
Yeah, it's just more slow motion video.
We wouldn't even be talking about this if he didn't hit him in the eye.
I mean, do you know this tennis player? Do you know this?
I don't know him. No.
Yeah,
Dennis Shapovalov. Is that it, Chen?
That's it.
$7,000 fine. At least people know your name now.
Yep. I feel well, don't hit the ball in the. You can hit a baby. All right. I have a fun dropping knowledge.
If you go off on conspiracy theory and Alex Jones, I'm going to take this mic and ram it in my eye.
No, I'm done with that too. I'm done with that too. But I think it's.
I get pissed hard out of my dick.
Should we take a break? Should we take a P Drake break?
P Drake.
Should we take a P Drake?
P Drake it up.
Let's strain it.
Let's strain it.
All right. I got a dropping knowledge for you guys. Now listen, I've been studying the Old Testament. All right.
Yes.
Now, Brennan, this is a little quiz for you to see what kind of a godly man you are, because I got to tell you something right now. You shooting things in your nose, man?
Yeah, I'm godly.
Am I dropping knowledge?
I got a Coke shirt on and a fucking...
I'm about to drop some serious religious knowledge on you. And
I'm ready, man.
You're jamming your nostrils.
Praise Allah.
Saline
Let's go.
solution.
Praise Jesus. Allah.
Brennan, what's the first commandment?
Thou shalt not kill.
Absolutely not.
Thou shalt not lie.
Damn it, no.
Thou shalt worship.
Yeah.
God.
What among, like...
Hold on, ask these. Hey, do you know it?
There's a little more to it.
What do you think, Agent A?
You're going to hell!
Hold on, let's see if anyone knows it.
Should not commit adultery?
Should not have committed adultery.
Is that one?
Of them, but it's no.
No, I know that's one of them.
You're
that's
going
not the
to
one.
hell!
What do you think it is, Jen?
Which one's
You're a Christian. You're a Christian.
I said thou shalt not kill should be numero uno. And she had adultery, which is definitely not number one.
You didn't say lie?
I said lie too.
Oh crap! That's what I was going to say. So I have no idea.
Well, all right. Do
you know? Without looking it up?
Yeah, I do. But I want to.
What is it? Why are you looking it up?
No, I don't do that. The number one.
Why are you looking it up?
The number one commandment, of course, is that you will have no other gods but me. Right? You should. But I'm getting to a larger point because I want to say something. And the idea is this. So what was, and another question in the Old Testament, what was God constantly punishing the Israelites for? Constantly, like what was the one thing they would do all the time? And then he'd send the Babylonians, he'd send the Assyrians in, he'd send the Persians in, he'd send the Greeks in, he'd send the Romans in. Every time, why? What were they doing? What was the thing they were doing? I know.
Hey man, don't act like you're better than this because you're reading a fucking Bible for dummies right now.
No, I mean,
don't do that, because if you didn't read that, you wouldn't be just dropping this.
I studied theology. I really did.
Easy.
No, I did. I read the Old Testament. When I did Oz...
That's like me being like, hold on, how many Super Bowls did Tom Brady win?
No.
You don't know.
No.
You do not know.
Getting to a much larger point. No, the reason I actually have read all those the Old Testament,
you don't have to validate,
because when I was on Oz, I played a Christian fundamentalist, which means he believes the whole Bible. So blah blah blah, and that doesn't matter. But I didn't grow up religious.
So what did he?
So they were always basically being punished for worshiping idols, which basically means you have other gods, right? And he was like, and even with the Canaanites, he was like, when you go to Canaan, do not intermarry, and you got to kill all the Canaanites, the book of Deuteronomy, because otherwise you'll worship their idols. And they were constantly getting punished because they would intermarry, and then they take on another religion. So what's the danger about worshiping idols? Why is that so bad? Why is it so bad to worship a golden calf or a statue? And why am I bringing this up now? Well, because really it comes down to not worshiping your own creation, okay? Which can be like, I don't know, beauty, which can be, status, which can be money, which can be power. That's always been a sin in almost every religion. In Islam, in Judaism, in Christianity, and in Buddhism, and in Hinduism, basically. The idea that you are worshiping false gods. And we live in a town where there's nothing but. So, for example, if you've got shoes that you really like, maybe you're an idol worshiper, dude. Maybe you worship at your goddamn thing. The bottom line is,
I will punch you in the
bottom line is, just
knowledge.
pay attention and think for a second. Maybe there's something to those ancient wisdoms as you read it.
Maybe they're old as fucking little boys' wieners.
No, sir, you're missing the point. That if that's the number one commandment, maybe there's some deep truth to the fact that you shouldn't have false gods and you shouldn't worship anything of your own creation too much, whether it's your own beauty, whether it's the shape you're in, whether it's even your own accomplishments, because maybe that's not the best way.
Just give up and believe in God. Jesus, take the wheel.
But what does that
mean? Let me know how that fucking turns out. I hate that shit.
That just means put things that are more important, like things that are kind of beyond you, more important, I would imagine, right? Don't get too attached to shit like status and money and power, because at 50 years old, I have seen that movie doesn't necessarily end that well. So that's my dropping knowledge. And I thought it was interesting that seems to be constantly
common theme.
It seems to be constantly the number one sort of thing that angers God throughout the entire Old Testament. Remember, where's the New Testament come from? The Old Testament.
I think the reason why they say that, and whether you believe they're a higher being or not, if the reason you say don't worship material things or ego or status is because they know ultimately that's not going to make anyone happy.
There you go.
That's why
it's not going to be fulfilling ultimately.
No,
right? Yeah.
it goes to there's no, that road doesn't end well.
Right. I mean, you and I talk about that, like in a way, like you can get things and there's still shit to do. I talked to Aubrey about this. Like I was talking to Aubrey. Aubrey he is a straight up pimp, and he's got everything at his fingertips, from the most beautiful women to just a beautiful house to a great company and all that. And he's always talking about how like every single day he wakes up and he goes, I got to do something with my life. The fuck. And he's got to read. That's why he gets in the ayahuasca. That's why he tries to get on these spiritual journeys, because he's searching for more, because that's a guy who's kind of like at 35 years old, really gotten his both feet and hands into the muck of hedonism, and obviously is very aware that it's not enough. That was our whole podcast that we did at On It Studios, which I had a blast at, by the way. That place is fucking Disneyland.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Loved it. So anyway, I was just thinking about that.
I think if Aubrey had kids, he might feel a little different.
Yes. Well, he still feels different. I mean, we talked about that. He's kind of pulled in both directions. We talk about it all the time.
I mean,
because that's
an amazing setup.
Yeah, because it's the things you can measure and the things that taste good and look good and feel good are fucking powerful.
They're everything.
Oh, dude, they are, man. Because we are physical creatures. We're not just spiritual minds.
Yeah, I think there has to be a balance, because I know people are so religious, like it's just in God's hands. Like it's not in God's hand. Like you eating right, you going to the gym, that has nothing to do with Him.
Correct.
Quit chalking that up.
Correct.
Jesus doesn't give a fuck.
You're responsible for the condition you're in. Take responsibility. 100%. And you said it, balance is what Aristotle talked about, the golden mean. Like the good life is about achieving balance. Mm-hmm. You are physical, but you're also spiritual. You also have a brain and stuff like that. Don't be completely like, don't go off into a mountain and live on a bowl of rice. I mean,
be cool though.
Well, if you can do that. The Buddha tried that and said, nah, fuck that. I need some balance in my life.
All rice.
Yeah, the Buddha went off and tried to live on almost nothing. And he was like, I'm starving. This sucks.
No shit.
And then he was like, wait a minute. There's got to be a balance, because otherwise I'm sitting on a mountaintop alone, not affecting anybody's life. It didn't make any sense to him. So then he came back to the idea of moderation, but not being attached to it at the same time. Because it's one thing to have everything at your fingertips. And if you have nothing, then it's easy to be like, I'm not. If you have it all at fingertips, but you can still kind of not get attached to it, that's according to the Buddha, that's the trick. That's not easy to do, but that's the idea.
Get some fan questions, Chin?
I do.
Hey, we got our show, man. San Francisco.
We do it after this.
I know, but I just got excited.
For San Fran?
Yeah.
I love San Fran. Cobb's.
Thursday, Friday at Cobb's.
One of my favorites.
We won't advertise it yet, but I just want to bring that up.
I do love San Fran.
Yeah. We got to get you to stop worshiping idols. You keep touching your shoes.
No, these could set on fire. I wouldn't give a fuck. I'm not that attached to them.
I know you're not.
Not my shoes. There's nothing really I'm that attached to. I was thinking about it the other day.
Accomplishment. Friends. Right?
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe.
Rice. Going back to what you were saying, I'm very attached to rice.
Yeah. You're attached to growing.
Health.
To getting better.
Well, I'm attached to getting over this fucking head cold.
Man,
there's nothing worse than being sick. No, you're not that sick. I was fine last night.
Head cold. Sound sick.
Head cold.
Do I sound sick?
Face.
I mean, when you first walked in, you sounded super sick. Right now,
early in the morning, bro.
Yeah, you sound better.
Yeah, you get all bunched up in the face.
You know, I was hoping the DMV would let me retake my picture.
Oh boy.
I know they don't.
Because you're stuck with it for 5 years, 10 years.
I know, man. Why can't I just update it? They're like, no.
Yeah, you're stuck with that thing for 10 years.
Really, you're stuck for 10 years?
No, it's not 10.
Is it 10?
No.
I hope they don't.
I don't have to renew my driver's license for 10 years.
When you're older, it gets longer, right?
I hope it doesn't get that long.
When's the last time you had to take the driving test? Have you taken it lately?
No.
I did when I moved to California because I had to apply for a California driver's license.
Yeah.
I had to take the test.
I had to get my eyes checked when I turned 45, I think.
That'll get you.
They checked my eye. Very good eyes, though. Guess what I don't have good?
Teeth.
Ears.
Oh, you can't hear?
Hey, man, I don't need you to fill the blank in.
Well, don't
go teeth like that.
God damn it. You said guess.
Yeah, okay.
You hear pretty well.
Yeah, but
and
it's not that
well.
good. But why do you have to bring my teeth up in every podcast, man?
I'm sorry.
I'm getting Invisalign.
You're lying.
I am.
When?
I don't know. I got to make the appointment.
You lied.
I did make the appointment, but they took forever, so I stormed out.
I've done that. I thought about leaving the DMV.
I got mad. I'm out of here. And I have to
done
go
that
back.
same shit.
That's the truth.
I need to get my blood work done and get a physical. I make appointments. I just don't show up.
Let's go do it together. I got to get my blood work done. I want to go get a full fucking crazy.
You should have at 50 for sure.
I should, right?
Yeah, I just want to get on top of things.
Yeah.
That's when the cancer cells like to
I gotta get myself a colonoscopy. You gotta get a camera right up my shitter. Gotta check my shitter out.
They gotta check your. You know what? Your big thing is your prostate. I feel like yours is all right though.
My prostate.
When's the last time they checked that prostate?
A year ago, had his finger right up my ass.
One finger?
I don't remember, but it was terrible, and he had big hands.
Only one finger though?
Yeah, I think so. And he said
it's
you may have
usually
a tendency
2 to 3.
to void. Well, anyway, you know what he did when he got at my asshole? He goes.
He pulled out poopy.
No, there's no poopy, I don't think. But he goes, flat as a pancake. That's what he said about my prostate. Flat as a pancake, which apparently.
My guys went, well, we're good.
I don't like that shit. I do not. It's the worst.
There has to be an easier way to check.
Oh, why do you got to stick your finger in my ass? Seriously. I don't like it, man. And don't talk to me while you're doing it. Just say, here goes nothing.
And they really lube up those gloves.
God, here goes nothing.
Done, Chin?
I have.
Give me a belt to chew on.
It was difficult because I couldn't relax. He kept saying, you got to just relax. And every time he tried to go in, I puckered up.
Like a constrictor on his
fingers. It was like instinct. I couldn't. It was
it's
really
a tough
weird,
one, dude.
So.
I wonder if I... never mind.
What?
I was going to say,
I know
like if I constrict hard enough, if he's like, hey, I'm done. I'm like, not today. Hey, I'm done. I'm like, not on my watch, buddy. You're going to earn this.
Nurse!
And he's like, God damn it. I'm
Nurse!
Like, oh.
And his finger comes off.
And it's just trapped in there. He's like, hey, man. I'm like, And
are you screaming, Chinese handcuffs?
No, nothing.
Chinese handcuffs?
No, I'm just like, you earning this today. You're going to earn these results.
You're so big.
You earning this, boy. You earn this.
I'm a medical doctor.
Jerking.
And you're going, yeah, keep pulling.
And you can hear his knuckles popping. It's just like, and I'm like, come on, man.
Well, he's pulling
Put a little fucking heat in there.
Pulling out some anal line.
Put a little heat in there.
Why do you keep bringing your hips forward?
Because I'm clenching my...
Like a scared dog?
No,
like a scared dog?
I'm clutching my ass cheeks like...
We call it tucking the tail.
Good like you now there.
Yeah, it's called tucking the tail.
Good luck. And since he's not going to see me again.
You're tucking the tail.
I wonder if that's possible.
You ain't going nowhere.
Because like if I was in prison, that's all I would focus on is like that hip thrust. I'm like, you can put it in there. Good luck getting out.
Yep. And I'm
going to run out and all the homies are going to know you fucked me in the ass.
And for no reason.
And I'm going to armbar your dick with my asshole.
There you go. And I come in and I go, honk. And I start giving you a honk check for no reason.
Well, then
but I'm looking him in the eye going, honk,
well,
honk.
I'll let go.
Honk, honk. And I'm going, Chinese handcuffs. And he doesn't know what the fuck is going on. Get out, mate. Get out of my office. Chinese handcuffs. And then we go like this. We go, yeah, go tell people that story as if anybody's going to believe you. Well, what happened was he clenched my finger, it got stuck, and then the other guy came in. He was honking the other guy's genitals, going, Chinese handcuffs, honk, honk.
Yeah, I don't know if that's possible. His gloves are so slippery.
But you can do something crazy enough to somebody where nobody would believe the story. And I think we should do that to our next doctor.
I'm just curious if that's possible.
Got weird.
What do you got, Chin?
Every time. I wanted to have a podcast once where we actually keep things mature for real.
Nah, I don't want to be on that show.
I know, but do you think you could
do that show, though, already, where it's all serious?
Yeah.
I can't do that, man.
No. Well, you know what's funny about intellectuals? I've done a little study on them. They tend to be a little bit corny with their humor. And then I realized, he said, well, you're probably just some old lady who reads books in a dusty closet. And the problem was, a lot of it was true.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's hard to laugh at stuff that isn't funny these days.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean,
what do you got, Chin?
Corny humor.
First question is from Koltsky Cox. Because of the big comeback, do you think there was a great pep talk? And have you ever had one of those when you're losing a game or a fight back then and come back from it?
Have you wrestling or?
Well, you're
going to come back from it.
Taekwondo?
No, you'll laugh.
Did coach give you a pep talk?
No, you'll laugh. I'll
tell you my thoughts on pep talk.
Right, cool.
Okay, so I had we were about to do a play, and when you do a play, it's an ensemble, and you want to have energy, and you want to go out there, and people are a little nervous, and we were young actors, and a wonderful actor named Herb Edelman, who was on the show Golden Girls, he was directing us. And at American University in a play, I don't know if Herb Edelman is still alive. Can you look that up? Because he was awesome. And he
take your word for it.
And he gave us a pep talk, and he was like this. He was like, and I want you out there going, ka, 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 ha, 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 ka, ka. I'm an actor. And he was telling us how he wants us to get ready for it and stuff.
Trying to give you guys energy.
I'm embarrassed to say this, but he was so convincing that I found, this is embarrassing. He was going, ka, ka, ka. And I went, and I'm an actor. And are you actors? Are you actors? And I went, yeah. I got swept up in the moment. I go, yeah.
Did everyone else?
And everybody was like, huh? Looked at me. I was like, oops. And I never get rah-rah like that. And I got caught up in the moment.
You got cut by the moment.
Sure did. And embarrassed myself with my fucking enthusiasm. Because I was the lone. Yeah. I was the lone.
Back to the, that's hilarious, B. I wish I could have seen that. I wish I was on tape.
I kind of jumped up to my feet.
Back to like pre-game, post-game, halftime speeches. At the professional level, it's not needed. Those guys don't need. There's really no motivational thing you can do to get those guys to get back on track. They kind of it's within. And I think if you need someone to motivate you to win the Super Bowl or to make a comeback, you're probably not going to make it that far. Same thing with the thing with fighting coaches. They never really said anything to me where I'm like, God damn, he's right, man. I need to go out there and win this. It was more of not making sure you don't say the wrong thing.
Oh yeah,
I had a coach one time. I was training. I was here in LA doing a camp, and then I'd bounce back to Denver. So he was a little bit out of the loop, and he'd go. He'd like to walk and and look back on your career. It's the day of fighting. You have nerves, and just like how you got there, and go through all the steps. And he's all, maybe just have an off day, maybe just did a lot of drugs, and he'd be like, I want you to think back when. You're on The Ultimate Fighter and that finale and the happiness you had when you fought Roy Nelson. I was all, what? And my eyes are closed. I'm all, well, I lost it. When he goes, you can see, you realize you fucked up. He goes, that's right. And
God!
And my other coach is there going,
he's improvising now. Now he's improvising.
He goes, that's right. Well, you don't want that feeling again. Okay, so let's just fast forward. Okay, let's fast forward that. You don't talk about it. That's fine. so let's talk about your girlfriend, the way she makes you feel. At the time, I didn't have a girlfriend. I'm like, what? What? Remember, I left her in Denver. I broke up with her. He goes, I know, but I want you to. Okay, you know what? Let's restart.
Oh no, worst mental
yeah, and I'm
all
like,
time.
this is before LeVar Johnson. I'm like, God damn it! And he goes, all right, you're in Brazil. I'm like, all right, man. I swear I can't make this up. You're in Brazil. It's the biggest fight of your life. I'm like, you know what, man? Why don't we just not? I was like, I'm good. I'm all set on this. But I think it's more about the coaches not saying the wrong things.
Yeah.
Because when you're in the back, and if they say, make sure you don't get caught with this, you're like, what the fuck, man? Or make sure you don't get knocked out. Like, there's trigger words that you do not want to hear.
My nephew tells this hilarious story about the coach that got fired from his senior year in high school, who was the worst coach on the planet. He would be like, they big. I didn't know they're that big. They big. They're a lot bigger than us. And then he goes, we practiced for this. Well, we didn't practice for this. He was the worst coach. He was the worst.
That's hilarious.
He'd literally say that stuff. Damn, they big.
I've had some good coaches that'll get you like fired up before. I mean, high school, you need that in high school, or lacrosse, high school lacrosse.
I love when people get fired up. Like, do you ever see that video on the guy on the subway when they killed Bin Laden? You see that guy?
USA.
He goes, all right, guys. After me, USA.
After Bin Laden
USA.
Not a peep.
Nobody in New York.
I would have been doing it. USA.
Nobody. They were like, he goes, all right, guys. Well, oh no.
There's been some
so embarrassing.
There were some times where players, especially in college, they'd get around the group, the captains, and they obviously didn't pre-think this shit out. They'd say some stuff, and you're just like, the fuck are you talking about, man? And you just can't get behind it, but you kind of have to. Like, there's those awkward moments.
My wrestling coach would just say one thing. He goes, all right, good luck. Keep your head up. All right.
You
don't need much by the time you're ready. I mean, there are people, I guess, that can give you.
There's some motivational people where you feel like you run through a wall, but at a certain level, especially like no one's in Tom Brady's ear giving him motivational speech.
I had an acting teacher that would get you, like, he'd tell you why being an actor and a good one was mattered for the general human experience.
See, I think that's good.
It was amazing.
I think like when someone can take you out of the moment at hand, because sometimes the moment can feel so big.
Yeah.
They can take you out of that and be like, listen, it's not that big. Here's what's going on. Here's the grand scheme of things. Don't overanalyze and make it so big. That stuff's good.
Yeah.
But again, that's not a motivational talk. That's more of a.
There was a dude. He told a story. My acting teacher told a story about a kid. He was talking about how when you do something as an actor, it's called psychology into behavior. So that you, like, when you're as a good actor will do something, whether it's lace your shoelace. It might sound weird or whatever, but you put the emotion into the action. Does that make sense? So in other words, if I were to, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a way to do it, but if I was really distraught, I would hit a tennis ball differently than I would if I was feeling great, right? Sure. Or whatever it might be. And he said that this kid came in and put together a model airplane, and nobody could take their eyes off it. Like, they were
was
like,
that good?
And it was like, what was it about him putting together this model airplane? But it was really emotional for the kid. And he said to the actor, he said, what were you doing there? Because did you notice that none of us could take our eyes off you? And he told a story about how his father, it's a really sad, terrible story, but his father's in jail for molesting he and his other brother. But they put together a model airplane once, and it was the only good memory he had of his father.
Shit, brother.
Dude, it was so heavy, but the way he told the story, yeah, and you're like, well, that's kind of what acting's about. And when he put that model airplane together, that's what he was thinking about. And
the one good time.
Yeah, and you go, fuck. Well, that's psychology into behavior, all right? Because we couldn't take our eyes off you because you weren't just putting together a fucking model airplane. That was your whole life. There are a lot of examples of that. That's that's a little bit different. But
yeah, that's.
Yeah, I like to bring.
It's not a motivational quote or speech, but.
Well, that's good art.
What else you got, Chin?
Buddy. We want two more, one more?
Yeah, one more.
All right. K-Tan 0. Out of your group of friends, who makes you laugh the most in person? Both you guys.
Definitely Brian, out of all our friends. Our other friends aren't that funny in person.
Yeah.
Dalia is.
Dalia's very funny.
A nutcase in person. He's pretty hilarious.
Dalia kills me. His Instagram kills me. He kills me. I mean, yeah, everybody. I mean, I've got the funniest friends in the world. Will Sasso Chris D'Elia, Jimmy Burke has always made me laugh really hard. You crack me up.
Yeah.
All my friends. If you're my friend, you make me laugh.
That's true.
Right?
I'll tell you who's under radar funny is my brother.
Your brother is.
Jay's funny. Doesn't mean to be sometimes.
Funny as shit.
He's funny.
Great. He picks his spots. He's like a surgeon. Like he's very good at that. Yeah.
Pretty funny.
Yeah. I like your brother because his facts are so good too. He's just got.
Yeah.
He's got the truth.
Should have been a
down.
lawyer because he won't let you get away with anything.
No, he won't. Yeah, and he'll stand his ground. He'll fucking argue you into a hole.
Is that it, Chin Chin?
There's more if you guys want some more.
You want one more, B?
God, I'm not afraid, dude.
I'm never afraid.
It's Monday.
It is Monday. We haven't
Why do I look like I'm
podcasted in a
afraid?
while.
This is actually pretty funny. Gotta Live Hard is asking, you think Brady got a steak and a dick suck post-win?
Phew, I bet Giselle...
Yeah.
I bet he walked in and she had just Uggs on and sucked his dick, and then he cut a nice filet mignon.
He got whatever he wanted. Let's put
Tom
it that
Brady.
way. It's Tom Brady.
They have how many kids? 2 or 3 together?
It looked like they had more than 2.
Hopefully more.
He's king
The
of the
world
world.
needs
He's
more
king
of
of the
them.
world. That guy is just king of the world. I mean, he's that good looking.
Oh, he's writing a book on nutrition and working out. Like he said, he's writing a book because he wished.
I'll buy it.
Yeah, you definitely will. I won't. But he's doing a book on like what you should be doing, like what he wishes someone would have told him, like don't do this lift for during the season because this is what's going to happen.
Wow.
Like what not to think about. Yeah, I think it's in. You know.
Yeah, I think so
And then
too.
he's doing a diet thing. I guess he has a weird diet. I don't know exactly what it is.
I think it was Joe Carnahan. We were watching the game. Joe Carnahan said the guy sold his soul to the devil. There's no way you can be that good and that good looking. Like something's up, man. There's something up.
I think that's why so many people hate the Patriots, because Tom Brady, goddamn good looking, married a supermodel, kids, best player in the league, always wins. So it's like, fuck you, man.
Here's my question to you.
I love him.
Here's my question. Does he retire?
No. God, no.
This
No one's even talking about that. That's not happening. He was talking about today on the radio, 5 more years.
5 more.
He thinks he said that last year. He
He's
said 5 more years.
He's pretty injury free, right?
Yeah, no injuries.
Why not?
What did you think of did you guys see his wife like Instagramming or doing something right at the win?
Do whatever
What
she
was
wants.
she doing?
So you can see her in the stands, and as soon as they won, she was like videotaping her friends around her in the same booth.
She should.
But then she turned the camera like that, so you can see her doing herself like she's freaking out, but you could see her in the camera here.
All good.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
All good. I saw
Check out the
I
video.
saw
It just seems weird. Like if you really enjoy the moment.
She was recording how exciting it was and what a moment it was, and it's history. It's fucking history. And I think you do whatever you can.
They've been
in
through
that
5 of them, though.
Check it out, though. Watch the video.
No, that
It's
one's
weird.
special.
That one's a special
I'll tell you what, for Tom, though, emotional as he got, because it was dedicated to his mom, because mom had cancer or something,
she
right?
does have cancer. 18
Yeah.
months she's been going through it.
Fuck, man.
Man, that was so emotional when he was. I got teary-eyed when I saw him all emotional like that, because that was. He said, I guess the owner said, "Let's do this one for your mom."
Oof.
It's glorious. It's fucking glorious, man. That kind of a win is glorious. And Belichick, seeing Belichick, like not just smile, but be like, "Hey!" Like, he's
So
always got
emotional.
the same face. And he was so emotional. It was beautiful.
I just wanted him to get on the mic and just fucking be like, fuck you, Goodell. What's up? How about these deflated balls, son?
Yeah.
Robert Kraft threw a little shade at him. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
He did. He got on the mic and goes, I said 2 years ago in Arizona was the best Super Bowl win of our life. He goes, but the past 2 years we've gone through some things that I don't think I have to mention here, and this one is by far the sweetest.
Wow.
Get dude.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Tom Brady doesn't need the balls to be deflated a little bit. He did just fine.
Yeah, he definitely deflated those balls though.
Excellence.
It doesn't matter.
Excellence. Just true excellence.
Well, that's it, man. We will be in San Francisco this Thursday and Friday.
Sold out Thursday. Sorry about that, everybody.
The general tickets sold out on Thursday. There's VIP left on Thursday.
Okay.
Then Friday, that bitch is almost sold out as well. tfatk.com right now. Cobb's Comedy Club. Top 3 for me. Nothing beats
it's a beautiful club, buddy.
The store for me, but as far as on the road, I think Cobb's is number 1 for me. It's my favorite. I fucking love that place.
Great club.
San Francisco. We'll be working out in Power.
Oh, we'll be at Empower. I'll be
Tarek,
training.
Yosef, you'll be training hard.
I'll be doing some Muay Thai. I'll be doing some boxing. I'll be doing some jiu-jitsu, as is my right and is my duty.
And Jake, you You want to get froggy with Milo's protesters? Good luck doing that with Callan.
Hey,
Jake.
Jake.
You listening?
I'm standing right here, bro. I'm standing right here.
No mask?
No, there's no mask on me.
No mask?
Dude, there's no mask on me.
You're going to see it coming, Jake.
Shorts.
You remember how it went last time with you and Brian?
Yeah. But this time, keep my head up.
We've been training twice a day, every day since then.
Keep my head up, keep my elbows in.
And we're going to sock you right in that vegan mouth.
That's right. And good luck finishing a ball, because I'm going to ball up. Ball up with my neck up.
Yep. Now I'm going to take both of you to get Invisalign.
Well, that's fine. We could both probably use it. Damn it. God damn it.
TFATday.com, San Francisco. We coming this weekend. Cobb's Comedy Club. Get them. This is the Final Kid. We out.